So Freezy said the Knicks are gonna be the champions, huh?
2024, bro.
Yeah, of New York.
Yeah.
Dynasty, actually. 3 out of 4 years.
Three
Y'all,
out of
y'all,
four years,
Hey,
bro.
yeah, everybody see this? Y'all already had it already, man. So we go ahead
y'all,
and get this thing popping, man.
y'all got a chance. Y'all got a chance to beat Brooklyn now. Y'all gonna be the Kings of New York for real now.
Yeah,
Hey,
man.
look, hey, y'all check this out.
Oh, shoot, sorry, bro.
Yeah, man. That's fire. I like that.
Tough.
That's cold,
tough.
bro.
That's tough.
Cold. I need a class on that.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Listen, guys. I know it's not officially the first, kind of officially. I'm gonna say kind of. Listen, man. Welcome to the official crossover podcast, guys. We definitely appreciate everybody rocking with us, man. Shout out to the Atlanta Hawks fans. Shout out to the New York Knicks fans. Shout out to the Dallas Mavs fans. Shout out to all the fans across the globe. We got a good one for y'all, man. Listen, I don't even know I don't even know where to start, man. But y'all already kind of started talking about y'all stuff, man, before we even got started, man. I guess we can start with the fact that it's now confirmed. I think Vegas has already backed them on this. It is official. The New York Knicks will be the 2024 champions.
Them.
Of New York.
Yeah, you already know what it is.
You got to put the qualifier of New York.
Of
Listen, man.
Right? You already know what it is.
Because
Yeah,
when
man.
we get Siakam,
That's what I was just about to start off with, man. Demond already got your opinion. I ain't heard from Analyst in a while, man. Analyst, what's your opinion of the whole Siakam thing, man? What you think?
You heard Demon's opinion on it. You heard my opinion on it. We got to go get this too. I mean, I hear people all the time talking about he doesn't fit. He doesn't fit. Listen, okay, you go and get a dude averaging 25 and 8 and 7, and you blend that with what you already had. To me, I mean, it gives us exactly what we've been missing. We don't have a guy at the four that can create, attack the basket, um, work in the post, etc. So I mean, to me, it's crazy to me when people tell me that they don't want Pascal Siakam. So I want him. I'm willing to do almost anything to get him. I'm not going, I'm not going to get crazy, but I'm willing to do almost anything to get him. Picks included as well. A few young players, and obviously the salary fillers. A lot of people want to hold on to DeAndre Hunter. I'm like, how long y'all gonna hold on to this Kawhi Leonard comparison that he's supposed to be?
man,
Kawhi
F
Leonard,
them
you know?
picks. Get them up out of here.
Yeah, get him up out of here for Pascal.
Because I was gonna ask you guys like what has been like as far as the preliminaries, like what have been thrown out there for the Siakam trade. DeAndre, what, 2 picks, 3 picks?
Yeah, it's been like
What is it?
DeAndre. I mean, I know the Mavs were involved for some
Capella.
time with Capella going to Dallas, and then we sent like AJ Griffin and like a lot of draft picks to, or whatever picks we have left to Toronto.
Well,
I was-
what it's set up like this. It's the latest deal is it can go a couple different ways. We can give them Buffkin, who we drafted this year. We can give them AJ Griffin. Now, if we come up off those two young talents, we're not giving them no draft picks because we already have 25, 26, 27 going out to San Antonio. And we all know, you can't trade back-to-back first-round picks, but
Right.
we can trade the 24 pick that we have from Sacramento. Plus, we need to get Hunter and Capella.
to make the money work.
Exactly. Even if Toronto even ends up moving Capella to Dallas or however they want to do it, however they do it, the NBA style. But basically, we coming off those two for the money because my guy Siakam's at what 35 mil this year. So
And
y'all
he's
know.
looking for an extension as well.
Extension too, yeah.
I
Well,
was
you
gonna
know, the,
say,
go ahead.
I was gonna ask, y'all been hearing about the narrative about Masai being difficult to work with, right?
Hmm.
Right.
And it seems like anybody that's been mentioned, like he's Siakam's head and shoulders the best player on that team. But for what the things that they're asking for just OG, what I can't even imagine like what Siakam's actual value is compared to what Masai would be asking for.
Right.
Well, you know,
Because
Toronto don't really have no leverage, man.
yeah,
They don't really have no leverage right now due to well, you know,
it's just,
Siakam already turned down 100. I think I want to say 180. He turned that down last year
uh
because y'all know he's trying to go for all NBA, get that 5-year super max.
Right.
The deal is this. Now I would now, like I tell people, I'm just a fan. I ain't no NBA insider. I just try to put two and two together, right? My deal is this: if he turned down 180 million and he going for the max money, Toronto, they really don't have to trade him, but if he doesn't make all NBA, they have a chance of losing this guy for nothing. Because he only saying he want to stay in Toronto because he know nobody else. Nobody can give him the 5-year supermax if he makes all NBA. But whoever put that out also hurting the Raptors because the latest reports was the Raptors teams are not putting forth their best offers, which obviously no one will for a 1-year rental. And he's already came out and said he's not going to sign an extension.
Right.
So I mean, he says he loves Toronto, but he actually hurting the organization and hurting his trade value. So I'm looking at Toronto like this: you either gonna move him now, move him later.
I'm
You
losing
know,
for nothing.
yeah, get what you can get for him now. Because we're the Raptors fans that me and analysts have been talking to. They saying that they had beef going on anyway with Siakam, Fleet, and the younger players. So Toronto got to make their mind up. But we got Capella, Hunter, Buffkin, AJ on the block. That's with no picks. No picks. So we giving you 2 first-round picks off the rip. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, that's
Hey,
just how I see it.
I thought y'all liked Buffkin. What happened with that?
I mean,
When he doing good in the
who
summer
you
league and
want,
everything?
Who you want, Buffkin or Siakam?
You got to give up something to get something, right?
Yeah, you can have Buffkin all because at the end of the day, like I try to tell my young homies, man, you always when you trying to go for a championship or be a elite team, you
Hmm.
always gonna take the proven commodity. Siakam is proven all NBA. He's a proven number 2 on the championship roster. With the young talent, the Buffkins, I don't care who the player is, even with the Winyambas in there, you still you still as a fan have to use that 4-letter word that I hate that begin with an H. It's called hope. You hope this guy turns out to be whoever. When I can move him now and get me a proven talent. And once again, it's not like we're trading for a fringe all-star. This dude's an all NBA player and a champion, proven number 2 option on a championship team. I
Okay.
mean, you can have Buffkin, you can have mine, you can have them all.
What
You know what I
intrigues
mean?
me about that is that there's no draft picks involved. Um, so I would do that, but the thing that scares me is, the rumors are obviously out. You get to a point where you say, okay, I'm willing to do this, and then Masai looks at it and he looks back over and he says, I'm getting no picks out of this, and he kind of walks that back, and that's basically what's been happening is we've had certain deals that were close, whether it's a 3-team deal, or just deals with us in Toronto, and we were close, but ultimately ended up not doing anything.
Does
I-
does
um,
Pascal Siakam make the Atlanta Hawks a championship level contender in the Eastern Conference?
I
And
would
in my mind, right? I think there are some things that the Hawks have to figure out outside of what Siakam brings. because what he does in Toronto is not what he's going to do in Atlanta. Because for one, Pascal Siakam playing with a dynamic backcourt with two dudes that are all-star level guards that can score, get their own, and create certain stuff is not what he's used to in Toronto, where he's a kind of an on-ball playmaker at times. He's not a banger like Randall or something like that. So what I'll ask Atlanta is, does Pascal Siakam solve the 3-point shooting in second half of games? Right? Does Pascal Siakam improve the the issues like off ball creation when because Trey can do it and DeJounte Murray can do it. Does Pascal Siakam give you that other guy that can create for himself and others? And so if he can do that, then I'm saying screw all them kids, bro. You know what I'm saying? And do that. But if you have questions about that, if you're thinking like, no, he can solve some, but not all. Now I'm thinking like, well, is it worth going out and getting Siakam? Is it worth just going out and getting another guy?
Yeah,
or two other guys.
It's worth going to get them. I mean, our front court. I was chopping it up with some other Hawks fans. I think it was the homie Nate. Shout out to homeboy Nate over there.
Shout out to Nate. Yeah,
I think it was him who pulled up the stats who said we averaged last year from our front court 4 assists from our front court per game.
Per game, right.
So when I look at that, what does that tell me? That tells me we have zero creation from our front court. So basically without our back court, we can't get nothing done. Our whole front court is spoon fed, or as the homie Matt like to say, breast milk. Somebody got to feed it. You know what I'm saying? So when I think of adding a Siakam, I see now it's probably going to be a whole different ball game when it starts, because all three in the game together. So they're probably going to find what works. But I see Siakam being a major difference when Trey come out the game, and now you have Murray and Siakam still in the game. So now you got 2 legit ball handlers, one in the front court where we was lacking ball handling and distribution, and Siakam can give you a little bit of post presence if needed. He could take his guy, he could back him down.
We lost that with Gallo when we traded him.
Exactly. And that was a key thing that I think every Hawks fan I ever met brought that up. Zero post presence due to Gallo being gone and Capella having zero. So I think Siakam. Now I would say this, as a Hawks fan, does it make us a championship contender team? Yeah, but if I'm sitting back looking at us as just a non-biased fan, would I put money on that? Probably not. I would say we're a conference final team, a tough second round 7-game series type team, and I'm only saying that because it's probably going to take another year for everything to gel. Coach Quinn bringing in this new system, Siakam's new. Luckily, we had Coach Quinn and Trey and Murray working out together during Summer League in Vegas. They trying to dial it in. So I'm not going to sit here and say as soon as we get Siakam, everything going to be, peaches and cream, everything going to fall in place. We're going to have our bumps and bruises. That's why I'm really hoping Siakam, does end up signing an extension with us when we get him.
So here's my question, though. If you get Siakam, how does that fit with Capella? Right? Wouldn't that be? And so this is what I was going to ask King, and not that I don't want to talk Knicks because y'all know I love my Knicks, man. But I want to ask y'all this question though, just really quick. King, would y'all be willing to part with Derek Lively in a Capella trade?
No.
Right. So why would you stunt the growth of a Derek Lively by putting a Capella in front of him?
Because
didn't y'all sign Dwight Powell back to 3 years so he could be?
They signed him to the max. They gave him the max.
Well, I can't agree with everything we did because I don't think it's a smart move to sign Dwight Powell. I didn't think it was a smart move to sign Maxi Kleber back. I think we talk about that all the time on the show. But Derek Lively is still an experiment. Like I feel like the team is more. We have Luka and Kyrie. They're trying to win a championship.
Right.
Like we know that. We know what Luka is. We know what Kyrie's done in his career. And Lively right now is still more of a project as far as he has the raw ability. I thought he was playing off the bench in college. Like he's a guy where it's going to take him time to be a guy that anchors the middle of the defense. I feel like he's going to go through his ups and downs.
I think you're wrong, King. I think that man.
I might be wrong. If I'm wrong,
I think he's going to be. I think that dude is going to be right below all-star talent.
Well, guess what? If you believe that, then we conference finals again at least.
Okay. Yeah, I believe he's gonna look like a baby deer out the gate. Now he's gonna look like a baby deer out the gate because of the speed and physicality of the NBA.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get to about that 35, 45, 55 game stretch,
you're
gonna see him establish himself and see how he can impact games.
Right. So that's my whole point on him not starting. I don't want him. So if we get Capella is literally a stopgap center. I don't want Capella. Like I'm not like a huge fan of Capella. He's just an upgraded Dwight Powell, if that makes sense. Like he can do what Dwight Powell does, but do great rebounds and actually finish and catch the ball with his hands. I feel like and play a little.
So why would y'all do the trade with Atlanta if you view Capella as the same thing as Lively and Dwight Powell?
We don't know about Lively. That's the question mark. The question mark about Lively if he's gonna be able to start right now or if he's gonna be right away. So if it is, like I said, if he is that dude right now, then.
Bro, he a top 10 pick, bro.
I got you.
At center.
He's top 12. He's 12.
I'm sorry, top 12.
Yeah, they traded back.
Yeah, he's 12, but still, they don't look at him. I'm telling you, the whole organization right now is saying they don't plan for him to start.
But you don't draft. But in today's NBA, what I'm getting at is in today's NBA, you don't draft a center in a top 12 unless they're special.
They believe
because you can just grab bodies and rotate. But y'all been doing it for years, just rotating dudes at center.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Not paying any money.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, I forgot. Y'all sent him to the max. That's right. But when I'm
shout out to JaVale McGee.
Shout out
still
to
stealing money.
But you know what? You know what, Freezy? I like Lively.
I love him with y'all.
I wanted us to get Lively.
Yeah, you didn't talk about that.
I was talking about getting Lively, but the thing is, what I see with him in Dallas is, you get a Capella, like they said, stopgap center. Capella gonna give you what
veteran,
you need.
Been through the wars. I mean, playoff experience.
Yeah, he been in East Conference Final with us. He been Western Conference Final with the Rockets. He's played with MVP talent. There ain't no moment too big for him. But what I see him on Dallas with Lively on Dallas is that he's Lively is a top 12 pick, but he's not going to be a focal point. Plus, when you got a guy like a Luka Doncic on your team, Luka gonna get all the attention anyway, and then the rest are going to Kyrie. So, Lively, matter of fact, you could let him play as much as you want, and he ain't gonna get no blame for nothing. Nobody gonna blame him for nothing. Right. Everything gonna fall on Luka. Everything falls on Kyrie. It's like playing with the Hawks. Everything gonna fall on Trey. So I think the Lively pick for me is a good pick. I'm gonna give an example for Knicks fans for how that scenario would work out. You remember we had Mitchell Robinson and he didn't know how to play at all.
Right.
And then we got DeAndre Jordan in front of him.
Yep.
And DeAndre Jordan gave him some mentorship. Yep. And it slowed the game down for Mitch. Yep. And then literally the next year he started fouling less.
Yep.
And when we talk about these things like these uber talented young bigs,
right,
the learning curve for a big is completely different.
Yep. Right.
Mm-hmm. For anyone else, they got to understand rotations. They got to understand how to help. They got to understand verticality because in any other level, they didn't have to do much. They were bigger, stronger, taller than everyone else.
Right.
But now they're coming up against grown men. They have to figure out all the nuances, the craftiness, how to foul without fouling, all these other things.
That's what I was telling. That's what I was telling you the other day.
So like the Derek Lively thing, like I wouldn't even be mad if they went after Capella because Capella, what is Capella expiring or he has like one more year?
He got one more year left on the deal.
Okay.
So it would be like a thing where they would bring him in.
you bring mentorship. He'll begin expiring for the next year. They get off of him.
Mhm.
They start Derek Lively next year,
Mhm.
and as his development, his path for his development, like as you said, Freezy, around game 35, 45,
Yeah,
they will.
he gonna be a monster around that time.
But he's not going to be playing a ton of. He's going to be playing 20 minutes max,
Yep.
even if
Right,
he's a
but he'll
monster.
be
Because
developing.
yeah,
But he'll be developing under the radar, and that's what
yeah,
you want
exactly.
for a young guy, for a position that needs time to develop. And the dude is 20 or 19 or 20,
19.
19, right?
Yeah,
So
baby.
now you can have him develop, and then on top of that, you can have him. It says he won't be able to create his shot early on, but whether he's with the Mavericks with Luka and Kyrie or in Atlanta with DeJounte Murray and Trey Young, they will find ways to get him the ball because he's an uber athlete at this early stage, free of injuries, no tread on the tire, so he can run and jump all day. Right. That's why I'm asking if you're Atlanta, wouldn't you rather have Lively instead of double O at center at this point?
No,
Mm.
No.
Oh, okay.
because what was about to happen, I don't know if y'all seen any of our summer league games. Quinn has already instilled the offense.
5 out.
We playing 5 out. So if you
Yeah.
listen, I was watching one of the summer league games, man. They put some big dude in 33, big man. Bro, big man who can't shoot, can't get up and down that court, can't guard the perimeter. Is food out here. You know what I'm saying? It's food. What a Kongwu provides now, granted, a Kongwu is not 7 feet. He not 6'10. Okay.
Right.
But that's not what we're looking for. What we're looking for is um not much, not a lot of rim protection, but we're leaning toward more on ball defending.
Switchability.
So
Yeah,
you're looking
more,
like for a Kevon Looney type defender.
No, 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 no. I think they're trying to. This is what I think, but I might be assuming. I think they're trying to put him on the trajectory of Bam on defense. A lot of the things that
Right.
Bam
Yeah, that's the same
does,
thing.
where
Yeah.
where it's like it's not necessarily the elite rim protection, but he can switch on virtually anybody.
yeah.
Right.
He's not going to be at a disadvantage. They're going to blow up a lot of dribble handoffs. They're going to blow up a lot of pick and roll actions. They're going to be blitzing a lot. Like they're going to be throwing teams off.
Yeah,
It's not going to, and that shows how Quinn is also like he's a very good coach.
and he
He
got
had
good.
he had the Gobert type, and now he's going to switch to more of a switching defense.
And that's
Away
and,
from
that,
that.
and that's
And you
another
s-
reason why I was intrigued with the Pascal Siakam. You got two guys that can switch.
Jalen Johnson as well.
Jalen
I like that, but he'll be in that Siakam trade though.
Atlanta and
Is he?
DeMar.
Yeah.
No,
they got him.
Jalen Johnson.
They
Jalen Johnson.
like
ain't
him
going
over there.
nowhere. Jalen
gotta-
Johnson ain't going nowhere.
Do they like him better than like Siakam?
No, but they're going to get AJ and they're going to get Buffkin. They're not getting Jalen Johnson.
Ooh.
I have 3 questions for Atlanta and Damon quickly. One, does that scare you the way you're trying to make your team right now for like playing a Giannis in the playoff series? 2, would you be willing to trade DeJounte Murray for Pascal Siakam? And 3, if you get all 3 of them, what's the pecking order?
They
You got
can't
the
get
analyst?
DeJounte now.
So I would imagine that we would. Would I trade Murray for Pascal Siakam at this point? No, I would have before he extended to avoid losing him for nothing. But since he extended, the goal would be to get all 3. What was the first question?
Are you afraid of Giannis the way y'all making your team right now with like getting small and playing 5 out in a playoff series?
No, I think the Hawks are better than the Bucks right now.
Well, they may be. That's they may be, but like
I would.
when Giannis plays, like, you remember when the Raptors had like Siakam and all, they had what's his name, Marcus Gasol behind them, and they like built walls and things like that. If you guys are getting shorter,
I think what we would do is when we played them in the playoffs a couple of years ago. To me, the problem wasn't exactly Giannis; it was the other guys kind of getting off because Giannis would do enough to keep them in the game, but we would still be, up by a little bit. When Middleton got cooking, went for 20 on us in the fourth quarter.
Kobe Middleton.
Exactly. Yeah. So I would say that I would probably bank on a mixture of Onyeka and Siakam looks on Giannis. No one's I mean, obviously no one on our team is gonna be able to stop Giannis, or even contain him. But what I would say is, Giannis is gonna do his thing, but our defensive abilities would have to go to the other guys, Brook Lopez, who seems to always hurt us as well, Chris Middleton, Drew Holiday, etc. So, and now they got Malik Beasley. So,
Yeah, I mean, if you
those
go
guys
to
as
the
well.
playoffs, man. Like we played the Bucks with Double O as a rookie, and he was playing outstanding on ball defense on Giannis. But like analysts
Yeah.
said, we're not gonna stop a Giannis. But like analysts said, if you go back, who was cooking us? Brook Lopez. When Giannis was out, yeah, I think that was game 3. Giannis was out. Brook Lopez go for 30 and like 15.
Yeah, he had 30,
Um,
yeah,
yeah, I
33
mean,
and 12, I think.
yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, like I don't care. I mean, I don't want to say okay. I'm not concerned about I'm not concerned about like Double O like a lot of people are, because one, we got it on tape. We seen we seen Double O go against these guys. We seen him go against Embiid. We seen him in the playoffs. We seen it already. I think a lot of Hawk fans are nervous because I think a lot of us, especially cats around my age and older, I think some of us still caught up in the older style of basketball. You need bigs to get boards. But once again, and I know this is just summer league, 'cause the cats be getting on me about summer league, but I looked at our rebounding numbers playing that 5 out because I wanted to see, and we was gang rebounding, which I actually like, because now we had our wings crashing the boards while the guards drop. Wings would crash with whoever was playing, whoever was our so-called big. Because I look at the Hawks, I always look at the Hawks as non-positional basketball. I don't look at us as position
Traditional.
basketball. So whoever was the big would crash. And then I was looking the last summer league game, we was plus 17 on the boards. We was plus 15 on the offensive glass. And I know it was just summer league, but I use that as an example just to show that we can gang rebound. We don't need a 6'10, 6'11, 7-footer in there to get rebounds. You know what I'm saying?
The Warriors showed you could just gain rebound
Yeah.
with a 6'7", 6'8"
Yeah,
center
the Miami
out there.
Heat showed you. Yeah, Miami Heat
Yeah.
been doing it for years.
And with the 3-ball, we all know that majority of your 3-ball miss is gonna be what? Long rebound.
Long
Oh
rebounds.
my
You know
God,
what I
they
mean?
killed us with that in the playoffs.
Yeah. And I
All
think
we
a
need
lot
a
of Hawk
guy.
fans, they caught up in the old school basketball. But once again, what the numbers tell me? Numbers say the boy Onyeka was averaging almost 2 blocks a game last year.
Right.
I mean, I don't understand why people so concerned. Like, it's only one way to play basketball. We got to try something new, gang. You feel me? Whatever we've been doing for the past 60 years in Atlanta ain't been working. You know?
Yeah, we got no championships. Look at me and Devon. That background, you don't see no banners back there.
Ain't no banner hanging up. You see one banner back there, and
One man is somewhere.
I think that one banner is for, I don't know, slam dunk championship. I don't know.
Yeah, it was a slam. Hey, wait a
That's
minute.
all the Hawks
was-
known for,
it
a
was-
slam dunk
It was
championship.
it was a slam dunk championship, and then the St. Louis Hawks back in 1958.
And lastly, though, Will, what's your pecking order?
As far trade number 1 all times, baby, you know that already. Trey, it's gonna go Trey, Siakam, and DeJounte.
Jonte the 3.
Yeah, let's be real, man. Listen, Siakam is a proven number 2 on a championship team. That's a no-brainer to me. And I hate to say it, he gives us more ways of scoring the ball than Murray. Right. Murray right now, he not getting to the hole, not getting to the free throw line, which he needs to work on that. He should be getting to the free throw line about 7 times a night, but he don't give us that. That's why I think on a Siakam end, now I understand he not the best free throw shooter, but once again, he still give us ample ways of scoring the ball. Can shoot the 3 at a league average post game, so can take his man off.
Excellent ISO player, bro.
Yeah,
Excellent
I mean,
ISO player.
yeah, that's why I don't understand why people scared to go get this man. Go get this guy, man.
And to another point, he picks up so much slack on the defensive end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like
man.
he guards 1 through 5, legitimately. So
Yeah, we got a rookie on our team, man. It kind of reminds me of Pascal Omax, kind of in that
Omax.
Pascal Siakam
I
vein.
like Omax. I like
Yeah.
Omax.
Yeah, Omax.
If y'all
nice.
got Siakam, the only I guess, quote unquote, bad defender y'all have in the starting lineup is Trey Young, right? And he'd be a better defender because of the guys around him.
Yeah, you just
That's
be a
just
weak
seemed to
side
be.
defender.
Yep.
You
And
just be the weak side defender.
Woody showed to me now. I see some people saying he gonna be locked down next year. That ain't gonna happen.
No, that ain't gonna
However,
happen.
however, I I saw him giving
Effort.
much better effort.
Mm.
And that makes a difference whether people realize it or not. You standing there just letting a guy go around you versus you trying and you determined to make a pass, even though you may let him get to the free throw line a little lower. But you make him make a pass, or you. I see him sometimes. He even completely stops the ball where it is, and the guy has to rotate the ball. If we can get more of that, I don't need him to be locked down, running up for all NBA defense. I need him to do. I need him to do that. So you're not a liability. Now we can play
Let me say this though,
5-on-5
analyst. Let
defense.
me say this though, just real quick.
Yeah.
Yo, I don't expect Jalen Brunson, Trey Young, or Luka Doncic to play average defense, right? Because when you're the sole focal point of an offense, you exert enough energy in one thing that is tough for a guy to be the best player on one side of the court and the best player on the other side of the court at the same time. It's too much to ask in real life. Like when you go to games, bro, when you see how much energy players exert on defense, and then you expect that player to come down and be the primary option in your offense, I think we asking too much.
But now
I
we're
think
taking some of that load
Especially
off now. We're
and
taking
and
that load off now.
and,
Yep.
Listen,
Offense.
people say that all the time, Free, but I'm gonna say it like this shit. Michael Jordan did it.
Yep.
yeah.
Kobe Bryant made
But
Kobe
but
Bryant
the
made how many all NBA defensive team Kobe Bryant made?
But they
12?
didn't do it. But they didn't do it by themselves. Michael
Well, that's
Jordan
what
did
I'm
it.
saying.
He had Scottie Pippen and Dennis Rodman,
and
and
also
when Kobe did it, he had Trevor Ariza and others that defended. And this thing with Trey Young, and with Luka, what you want dudes is bro, if these dudes right here are gonna moonwalk into the Hall of Fame, bro. They certified Hall of Famers because of offense. If you can't go just find a guy out of Walmart to come in and contribute to defense, your GM need to be
Right.
fired. You know what I'm saying? Because it's easier to find an energy guy to defend than it is to find a first ballot Hall of Famer.
But you know what, Freezy? For us is different than Dallas because our guy's not 6'9". See, and so like they come. If you watch the Hawks, you see the target Trey Young. They try to get the switch on him all the
All
time.
the time.
Miami tried to do
So
in the playing game in the
yeah, they
second
do it.
half.
That's why I said that. That's why like I've always said Trey Young, like, and sometimes I'm not gonna sit here in front. He be running from it, in my opinion.
Right.
And sometimes I want him just to step up and just man up. And if you get smoked on defense, you just get smoked. But the fact that teams are hunting for you tells me a lot. Tells me they don't respect you as a defensive player.
Right.
And because Matt used to tell me that all the time. Well, he carried all. I don't care. They targeting you. They saying you the weakest link. You need to step up and let people know I'm not the weakest link. I may not be the best defender on ball, but guess what? If you try to switch on me, I ain't gonna back down. I'm gonna stand up on you.
Listen.
Now Luka different because he's 6'9", what, 2 what?
Yeah.
So I mean, they don't go. Even though Luka not the most athletic, I don't see people hunting for him for a switch.
Ain't nobody trying to post Luca up.
They
Yeah.
tried to in the playoffs, but when he gives
Hey,
effort, that's why it's a different story. But let's keep
Right.
it real, y'all. Most NBA teams play team defense. It is what it is.
It's
So,
yeah,
so all you doing is you asking the guy to just stay in front of a guy and give me a second so another guy can come help out.
right.
That's all we want. Like I
Right.
say the same thing with Luka Doncic. Like Luka, you can't be complaining and letting guys run past you like Damon said earlier with Trey. You gotta step in front of him, give me a second, so the next guy can then come over and know what's going on and we can talk. But when you going out there and saying, I see it, man, people forget we have JaVale. Did he say that for real? Don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Don't do
man.
that, bro. I know Ben be trying to start stuff. But yeah, team defense just
Every time I run my blood pressure up, it's all good.
and King, I'm with you because there was a year when we were trying to get Donovan Mitchell last year. People were like, Jalen Brunson, Spider Mitchell backcourt would be too small. And the thing I pointed out to them is the Dallas Mavericks with Luka Doncic and Jalen Brunson had a top 7 defense.
Yeah.
That was their backcourt, and they had a top 7 defense, bro. And neither one of them dudes were known for defense. Defense is a team thing. You know what I'm saying? But my thing is with the Trae Young defense thing. I understand what Demon's saying, and it makes perfect sense. But what I wouldn't like to see though is Trae Young being the head of the snake on defense, because I think it takes away from his offense. If he's a complimentary defender, giving effort, I'm with you. The same thing with Luka and the same thing with Jalen Brunson. But if we were talking about them being the point of attack defenders, now I think you're talking about either begging for an injury or begging for their offense to drop off a cliff, and you don't want to do either.
I don't think that, like, to that point, when you mention like all these all NBA defenders and that Kobe made, like when Kobe was at the peak of his powers, he took on the challenge at the end of games, but during the course, the first 3 quarters, like even LeBron, remember LeBron was guarding Derrick Rose towards the end of games, but he was conserving energy because he was that much of a focal point.
It's the same thing Giannis does now. Giannis does the same thing right now.
Yeah. So, but it's one of those things where you could take on a challenge later on in games, but when you're a high volume, high usage, for all world offensive player, you need to exert that effort carrying your team on offense. You just need to be able to focus in and be like a solid weak side defender, help defender.
Right.
Just be there, be available, communicate, get back to your man, rinse and repeat.
Right. Dre, they're leaders. They're leaders, right? Like you have to show effort because you're the leader. You're the head of the snake. Like everybody else moves the way you move. If it's at any job, any other job, if you see your boss or your supervisor not doing stuff, then it makes you feel like, well, we don't have to do that.
Yeah.
You feel me? Like you got to be the head of the snake, and that's my issue with Luka. But I had a question for the whole panel, though.
I was going to think of what you were just saying. Mm-hmm. I think in Luka's case, and me and King been talking about this for the last couple of years. You talk about, I know when Freezy was talking about you having to do so much for the team on offense. We're trying to build a team to where he does not have to do as much. So you don't have to exert as much energy on offense. You can kind of divvy that energy between the offense and the defense a little bit more now because you have more guys on the team that's not dependent on you. Like we don't have a bunch of guys now just standing on the perimeter just wait until Luka penetrates and kicks out to one of them. You got guys who actually can do that on their own now.
And he can still get his buckets easier now.
Yeah, and it gets his buckets easier. That helps open the offense up now. So now when we heard King say this is probably the most talented team that Luka's played with in the NBA, he's right, because now we got guys who can actually go out there and get their own buckets now. Makes it easier for him. So now you don't have as much of an excuse anymore. Like, man, I got to carry the offense. I got to play defense too. It's like you got other guys that can go out there and do their own thing. Now you don't have to set that guy up anymore. I think now we probably got 3 guys on our team now that it still need to be set up. And Maxi Cleveland, Dwight Powell, and Derek Lively. That's it. Everybody else can dribble and go get their own buckets now.
I was gonna say, like, Luka could take quarters off and just watch Kyrie do what Kyrie does.
Yeah, and not just Kyrie. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we got a lot. Like even our young guys now, all of our rookies except for Derek Lively can go out there and get their own buckets now. You know what I'm saying?
Not yet.
The
Jalen kid that you
the Hardy, the bucket, the Monte Ellis looking dude. Yeah.
Oh God.
Jaden Hardy's the bucket. Josh Green can dribble and get to the basket.
I was watching him in summer league. I'm like, why is he even here? Like, what?
Right.
Why? He's too far. He's way too advanced for this.
They're trying to get his playmaking. So they were trying to make a lead guard to try to get his playmaking with other players around him to try to get that developed into his game. But my question, though, before we get into that, with something else with all of the panel, between the 3 guards, Luka, Trae, and Jalen Brunson, who's the best defender?
Luka,
right now.
I'd say Luka. I'd say Luka.
Luka when he dialed in. Yeah.
Well, when Luka's locked in.
Jalen Brunson.
No.
I think Jalen Brunson is probably the better help defender because he's a high IQ player.
He'll take more charges.
He'll take charges. He'll get in the passing lanes.
Yeah.
But in terms of like, if you try to like isolate. It's not going. When teams try to isolate Luka, it doesn't go as well as they think it's gonna go.
Right. Yeah, but so more with Luka. I think Luka can be should be the best defender when it's over, when it's done. But right now, if I had to choose one of them to be a defender, I'm choosing Jalen Brunson.
No, he's got too many disadvantages, bro.
I take
I
Luka.
ain't never seen a team be disadvantaged when he was out there. Now he may have problems, obviously his height and all that stuff, but like you just said, with
His
Dallas,
IQ is so
his IQ
high.
was incredible. With Dallas, he wasn't a bad defender. We weren't like,
Yeah,
oh,
so
the
he definitely
Dodgers
wasn't a bad defender
defenders.
with us.
And like you guys saying over there, it ain't like, even though he's smaller, it's never like a problem with his height as far as being the defense or the defense of the team. So I'm picking Jalen Brunson.
He's
Yeah,
not compromising a team as
Nope.
much.
I'm gonna go with King. I'm gonna say Jalen Brunson too.
Nah, I can't.
I'm going with Luka.
He terrible, bro.
Like you can't
Terrible.
you can't
Terrible.
beat
Tears love him,
6'9".
Breezy.
I know.
Tears love him. Tears don't love a player unless they play.
I think. Listen, I think that Jalen Brunson is a megastar, bro. You know what I'm saying? But what I'm saying is
I didn't say all that. I was just saying. You
well,
know.
I mean, did you see him in the playoffs against great teams
I saw him against Miami.
for numerous years in a row?
He
On
looked
the
good against
biggest
Miami and Atlanta.
He looked good in the playoffs
He
in
looked
general.
good against Miami. It wasn't his fault.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
just
it
saying.
wasn't
I'm
his
just
fault.
saying. You know, it was the other guy who.
Did you see him against the Utah Jazz when he was
Oh,
with the Mavericks?
I know Andy talk about.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Yeah, definitely wasn't Jalen. I tell you that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to give him credit where the credit is due, but I also want to keep it 100% honest with him. Not a average defender, bro. He's a below average defender with high IQ, right? And so what I'm saying is his physical limitation, because he's not just short, bro. He's not an athlete, right?
He's not agile.
Right. He's not very strong, even though he looks like he should be, right? And then so if you take in strength, athleticism, explosiveness,
Height.
size, yeah. When you take in, it's not. That's why I'm saying he has built-in disadvantages on defense, but they also work to his advantage on offense. Those same things that work against him on defense, they absolutely work in his favor on offense.
I think we're yelling the same thing, Freezy.
Okay.
So I think I agree. So his limitations are there. He's limited, but I feel like he does the best with his limitations.
I agree.
With the
He
other
maximizes what he can do.
Right.
So like Trey Young would take plays off and all, not play. Like I feel like JB's there trying to give his effort. You don't question JB's effort. Luka, he has the intangibles and the size and the ability to be the best defender out of all three of them, just based off of being 6'8" and 2 but he doesn't lock in enough to be that guy. So you're questioning him. Like even against the Phoenix Suns, where Jalen Brunson was there, they were attacking Luka Doncic. Chris Paul and Devin Booker was at the podium afterwards, laughing at the guy, saying this is your dude and all that stuff. So you don't worry about that with JB. That's why I say right now it's JB, but I think at the end it should be Luka.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, Jalen Brunson, a Villanova cat, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, they play defense in Villanova.
Yeah.
So I mean,
You mean the whole Knicks team is gonna be Villanova?
Yeah, I think Atlanta gonna be trading.
Hopefully, y'all can get the Villanova results.
Yeah, we're gonna have Ed Pinckney be the coach. Yeah.
Villanova got something going on over there, man. Them boys play defense. Them boys win. I mean,
they make NBA pros. That's what.
Let me ask the Knicks guys a question, man. So we on Jalen Brunson. I know we was kind of talking about this, but before the show started, if I told y'all guys y'all only can have one guy to start your franchise out of these two guys on your team, out of Jalen Brunson and Julius Randle, who you starting the franchise with?
Brunson.
That's a good one.
Brunson. As of, if we're talking about how they played as of the year 2023, like January 1st on, Brunson has been at an all NBA level. Because like he's been averaging like 28 or 27, 28 points per game on like elite splits, like 50, 40, 90 type stuff.
Oh gosh.
Right.
Don't remind me.
Right.
So it's like right now, Brunson for sure.
For me, so based on the way the question is framed,
And he's younger. So
based on the way the question is framed,
Yeah, more for Freezy.
yeah, I would go with Julius Randle based on the way the question is framed. If you had to start your team today with one player, which is harder for you to get, an all-star at power forward or an undersized guard, undersized point guard? So if we're talking about quantitative value, I can go get Randle, and then is it easier for me to find an all-star guard at his position? I would say absolutely go start with Randle, and then the easiest search based off that would be finding an all-star level point guard. I mean, man, listen, King
Is
asked
it
me.
easier for Easy though? Is it easier
It
because
is.
we've been looking for
Yeah,
one?
Right.
but
It, it,
Well,
it's
the
more
Knicks suck
guards.
at it. The Knicks suck
Yeah,
at it.
it's
Though.
more guards
but
available. The question is which one is more important, I guess, for
Yeah,
Easy.
yeah.
yeah,
Even,
no,
even
but hit me out on it though. This is what just want to say. Just I can go get Randall because Randall is hard to find. But I'm sitting on a panel with We Talk Hawks TV and We Talk Mavs, and both of y'all teams have all-star point guards. Two of them.
So
So
Freeze,
it's easier to find.
I got a
Just off
question
of,
for you though. Now I know Dre said y'all suck at finding it, but however, if I look at Knicks channels, even look at just all over, and you just hear people in general talk before y'all got Brunson. The biggest need on y'all team has been point guard. Y'all tried, Alfred Payton,
Hey, look, man.
Yeah,
Frank
you know,
Ntilikina was the
Nil-
future.
Emmanuel
Ntilikina,
Mudiay,
shout out to
you
JK,
know,
Emmanuel Mudiay,
second round.
Emmanuel,
Trey Burke.
Don't
y'all
forget about Frank.
y'all try
Frank.
a bunch of average point guards or a bunch of even tried to revive shot Kemba Walker,
Yeah.
and it didn't work. So I think the point guard position is very important because I mean y'all had basically I remember the year y'all signed like 5 power forwards. Bobby
Oh God.
Portis, Marcus Morris and Julius Randle.
Right.
I was like, they got all the, they have everything else but a point guard.
Right.
So it didn't naturally fit. You got other guys trying to create, you got other guys who are not natural creators, etc. So I mean, I thought Ness was gonna be Ish Smith for y'all, but y'all got
Analysts, based on
y'all
the way
got Brunson.
based on the way the question is
I
framed,
just
though,
Vegas Smith, man.
that like based on the way the question is framed, King asked me
Mm.
which would I start my team with,
I was
right? Now, if you're saying, hey, you know what I'm saying, what do you think the Knicks should do? Then I would have a different answer, right? But if you're asking me what I would do if I was in Leon Rose's seat, right? For instance, I would keep Julius Randle, right? And then I would offer something for Josh Giddey, Anthony Simons, all these guys that are not the primary guys on their team right now that are just like getting scrap minutes because SGA is going to be a Hall of Famer. Damian Lillard is a Hall of Famer. Steph Curry is a Hall of like these guys like with y'all have Luka and
Opportunity.
Kyrie. Yeah, y'all have Luka and Kyrie at the same time, which means Jaden Hardy is not even going to get significant minutes to develop, even though we know that he can be a quality NBA player in this league. But then when I ask King this, King, who's your power forward right now?
Grant Williams.
Now you see my point, right?
I see your point, but so the most important positions to me will always be point guard and center, no matter what. Like that's the two most important positions. I know you might say, well, the center is a different. It's because centers were trash. But when you
Right.
get a quality center, as we see right now with Embiid, Jokic, any of the big dudes is like even Aiden got the Suns to the finals. You get a quality center or a point guard, and your team is basically what it is. Even like a LeBron James. The reason LeBron James is great is because he's part point guard as well. I think that's the difference between LeBron and like a KD. You need that playmaking ability.
Right.
Y'all have had issues with not having a playmaker for so long. Jalen Brunson, I think Jalen Brunson is going to be a Hall of Famer. You get him over there, and you got that guy now that's probably the best player that got you to the second round. But like, you got to take him and keep him and get rid of a Julius Randle. Go get a center. Go get another wing.
But
I
you
take
remember
Paul
how the
George with
conversation
Julius
started.
Randle. You
But
said
you
who
remember
would I take it? I'm saying I was build with Jalen Brunson first and then build around him because Jalen Brunson is a more proven winner, I feel like, than Julius Randle. Like Randle's playoff numbers are trash. They are what they are. Like you see what you see, and they are what they are. You get rid of him. I would have went and got Paul George for Julius Randle. I'd have got anybody for Julius Randle because Julius Randle just taking up a spot in the regular season to take up numbers. It's kind of like, I don't want to say they wasted stats, but if in the regular season you keep doing it in the playoffs, it's like you disappoint. At some point, you got to go get somebody to help you out in the playoffs.
But if it was that easy to get that guy, why don't y'all have him already?
Well,
and two, we started this discussion with the Hawks guys, the gentleman from We Talk Hawks, talking about trading for Pascal Siakam, a power forward.
But it ain't like we ain't have a power forward. We just got off an all-time Hall of Fame power forward. So
Hey,
we just
what's the one position we been telling y'all we need? We've been screaming this for 150 years.
we need the center. Like we got Omax, we got Grant Williams, we done had Dodo playing power forward for us. Dorian Finney-Smith was a power forward. He played well at the power forward position.
I seen him play small ball 5.
That's what I'm saying. Like
exactly.
Power forward is not that. I feel like
Matter
it's
of
not
fact,
that important.
hey Freezy, you've been watching basketball for a while. You know about the Mavs back in the day.
Yeah.
Other than Tyson Chandler, who was our last center.
And
Let me saying? Like we bring it up all the time. Like he was saying with the power forward, with the centers in the point guard. We ain't had a center pretty much in our franchise history, probably since James Donaldson, right?
Shout out Sean Bradley, lottery pick.
Shout out to Eric. Shout out to Eric Dampier.
Lottery pick.
Man.
But he stole a lot of money. By the way,
I ain't go front, man. If it was me, I'm starting my shit off with Randall. I'm sorry. Listen,
because
as long
as
long as I got somebody else for the leadership role, because I don't need him. He's not gonna be my leader of the team.
Nah.
You see that? Y'all see this Freezy?
Come on, did you see the playoffs?
Bro, he had 2 sprains on the same ankle, bro.
This ain't his first
He
time playing in the playoffs.
didn't have a sprain in the Atlanta series.
I'm like, his numbers in the playoffs.
He's been
bad.
But his backcourt was Reggie Bullock
and Alfred
Payton.
This year his backcourt was Brunson.
Yeah, and his numbers are still bad, no matter what.
He went, and I know it hurt Tibbs. So he was like, "I pull him, I keep him in the game." Randall's my guy, but I know Tibbs had to have thought about this dude got to sit on the bench, man. I mean, it's like I won't say he shrinks, but he's not.
He shrinks.
Yeah. Well, I'll say this. I'll say this to that point. Pascal also suffers from this fate, but Pascal and Randall are two of the least efficient fourth quarter players. So when we talk about high leverage, pressurized moments,
right,
they're really power forward. So you can't really expect them to be the guy dribbling the ball 2, 3, 4 times in a row, creating a shot under duress. Like sometimes you got to be realistic and expect a power forward to be a power forward. You can't expect Julius Randle to turn into Kyrie,
right,
when it's the last 3 minutes of a ball game, because he's a power forward. He is a big. And whereas, not to down Pascal. Pascal is not an efficient fourth quarter player, but you have Trey, you have DeJounte to take up those responsibilities to close out games,
and Luka and Kyrie.
Yeah. So when we talk about these things, like I understand where Freezy's coming from when we talk about like a supply and demand standpoint, where there's only but so many elite power forwards,
right?
Whereas there's a lot of
RJ Barrett came close for y'all.
He ain't no power.
What about DeAndre Hunter?
That's why. Crazy.
That was a low blow, man.
That's why. But see, Hunter ain't gonna be with us to start the season.
I know
that mistake. He gone.
I know. Listen, I'm with you. I agree with you with what you're saying, right? My thing ultimately though is if you're talking about building a franchise in today's, think about how many wing players went in this year's draft, wing players and guards, versus how many bigs went, right?
Oh, so many wings.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. So if you're talking about the supply and demand model, then of course you take Randall, because you can find an Amin Thompson in this draft that might wind up being better than Jalen Brunson.
I understand what you're saying.
That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying that Jalen Brunson is a bad player, but what I'm saying in this model of a 6'1", 6'2" scoring point guard, can you not just find them from anywhere?
You can find a 6'4" somewhere else or something like that.
You can liken this to almost like boxing. There's a reason why like the smaller divisions have so many more boxers.
Yeah,
right.
Than the larger divisions, because these guys just don't exist.
Yeah, the bigger ones don't exist.
Right. Yeah, that's all.
What
I'm
are y'all
saying.
missing, Freezy?
Well, first let me point to this. The reason why our point guard search and our playmaker search is not fruitful, or was not fruitful, is it because the search was not fruitful? Is because the organization was dysfunctional. Let me just clarify that.
Say that one more time, Freezy.
The organization was absolutely dysfunctional, right? So sorry.
Go ahead. You saying?
So just to clear that up, because the talent always existed. The Knicks turned down in '93. The Knicks turned down a trade for Mitch Richmond, right?
Oh, I remember that.
The Knicks turned on. So you could have had Mitch Richmond. I think the Knicks could have had Mitch Richmond, Xavier McDaniel, and Patrick Ewing on the same team, and they chose not to go that route, right? And also, let me say this other thing too to what Rel said. First, let me just give kudos. The one team in the NBA that can identify talent and put groups of talent together is the Dallas Mavericks. They do that better than any other team in the NBA, any other franchise in the NBA, even by accident, right? There are times where they accidentally put together Jason Kidd, Jimmy Jackson, Jamal Mashburn, bro.
Oh, yeah,
And when you saw that,
well, Jason Kidd won by accident now.
No, I'm talking about
all three of them together.
No, I'm talking about together.
Getting
I'm
all
talking
three
about all
of
three
them.
of them together. Yeah, I'm not talking about
Jason Kidd was coming
we
off
had
two
some
final
incompetent people in
appearances
the
now.
Freezy know. We had some
It ain't
incompetent
like
people
Jason
in
Kidd was a
that
diamond
office.
in the rough or something. He coming off two
No.
final
He talking about being able to get all three of them at
all
the same
three at the
time.
same
We had an
time.
incompetent
Yeah.
front
Oh,
office in the
okay,
90s,
okay.
bro. We were
and
trash.
they took the worst two coaches you ever saw in your life, and Quinn Buckner and Jim Clemens to coach these type dudes. And Dre, you know who Jim Clemens is. We traded Clyde Frazier for Jim Clemens.
Yeah, that's
And
what I
then
was
he
telling
wound
King
up,
about. That's what we had too.
yeah, and
Try
he
to
wound
run
up
that triangle offense. It didn't work.
yeah, and he wound up being Phil Jackson's lead assistant in Chicago. But to the point of, if we're talking about like identifying talent, the Knicks hadn't been good enough at it for a long enough period for us to say that, you know what I'm saying, we can't find Jalen Brunson's. We were just a bad organization and we know it.
I mean, we had our own issues hunting for point guards. We went what? Let's see, Mookie Blaylock. Let's say
Mookie.
so 2000. So we went from 2000 to 2000.
2007.
We got Trey Young, I guess, unless you want to count Jeff T.
yeah.
I mean,
and then
They
a
had
Schroeder.
T, man. So
Selvin Mack wasn't doing it for y'all.
Shelvin Mack.
what about AC Law? You know AC Law?
I mean, we drafted. We did draft a good. We drafted a good guard named. We drafted JT.
AC Law.
We drafted Terry, but he left.
Yeah, he left.
Then we went through a bunch of mid guards. You had your AC Law. You had Ramil Robinson.
When y'all made that Bibby move, y'all went up though.
Yeah, but we called Bibby on the left. I mean, Bibby was
on his last legs.
Literally, because if you watching with us, if you're watching with us, he'll skip down the court. He couldn't even run down the court no more. He used to skip.
And then we thought it was a good idea to come get his old ass.
And give him the bag too, bro.
I mean, so yeah, it is hard to find like a good point guard, but once again, I go back to the saying: can you win titles with the point guard being your best player? You know what I'm saying? Especially when that point guard is 6'1",
not a small point guard.
You know what I'm saying? I mean,
big wings run the league, man.
Yeah, I mean today's NBA. You got to have these wings player. It said, Zeke.
That's it. Steph and Isaiah.
Yeah. Iverson was close to one, but that was it.
Yeah, and if you talk about Steph and Isaiah, you got to remember they flooded them dudes with big wings, big defenders, switchable guys.
Yeah, it still was hard. That's what I'm saying. It's a hard thing to do.
Can I ask y'all, how are y'all leaving out Tony Parker? He was a little point guard too.
But Tony Parker
was playing with Hall of Famers, dog. They didn't build around Parker.
It's Tim Duncan franchise, man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Duncan.
Okay.
Hey, all you got to do if you need a point guard though is talk to the Mavericks. They've been giving them away since Derek Harper.
MVPs.
I can't believe y'all let Brunson lead. That's
Brunson, Steve Nash.
Bro, I would have, after the playoff games,
Devin Hurst.
I'd already been dropping them contracts to him. Them two that Luka missed, and then Brunson. I'd already been dropping that. I'd be like, hey, draw the contract, man.
Bro, they gotta do it right now. That's gonna be if given time, he'll be better than Jalen Brunson, bro. That Hardy kid that they have, if they give him minutes, bro, that dude is gonna be special.
Don't say that too loud, Mark. He might be listening.
Yeah, somebody. I was just about to say somebody gonna be watching Jaden Hardy and gonna be like, "Oh, the Mavericks gonna keep him." But I think the goal for Jaden Hardy is to become Kyrie's apprentice. Yeah, like to come after him. But Jaden Hardy, with the Jalen Brunson comparison, Jalen Brunson is more of a point guard. The thing with Jaden Hardy is Jaden Hardy really is a 2, but he's a 6'3", 6'4", 2. Like his playmaking is questionable. He goes 100 miles an hour all the time, and it's like he gets lost when the ball will even go too fast for him sometimes. But So it depends on what you need. For you guys, Jaden Hardy wouldn't be a better selection, I think, for the Knicks. I think Jalen Brunson would be. But to be beside like a Luka Doncic, what we have, Jaden Hardy should be amazing, I feel like.
He
Right.
doesn't have to think; he could just play.
Yes, he can just play. Just
But
get the
some
ball.
might
Luka's
say
gonna
that,
think for him.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, but some might even say that's where Jalen Brunson was when Jalen Brunson was 21, right?
Jalen
That's
Brunson
what,
was in college at 21.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Well, yeah, you're right about that, Free. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Jalen Brunson wasn't a great ball player, and when he got the yard as a second round pick, it wasn't just because of his height, bro. It was because there were things in his game that were missing, and he needed time to get better over time, develop off the radar, like y'all gonna do with Derek Lively. Let him develop off the radar next to a guy that's a bona fide guy that should have been the number one pick in his draft. And then once those guys start seeding minutes to him, you'll see that guy develop. That's one of the things and I'm not and listen, I don't want to be disrespectful to Hawks fans, but that's one of the things that Hawks fans don't have patience with, in my opinion.
Is what?
Is when a guy when a young guy
Said
is super
patience.
when a guy is super talented,
Mhm.
like the kid from Duke, right?
Jalen Johnson.
Yeah.
Which
Instead
one?
of
Jalen and AJ from Duke.
Oh right.
wow, that's like the man.
Wait,
Okay.
Both of them Dookies.
And
Stop
Cam
drafting
Reddish.
these dudes.
Cam
AJ
Reddish
was
was
from
from
Duke.
Stop drafting these.
Cam
dudes,
Reddish
man.
was from Duke too.
We don't acknowledge that man in here.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
that's
man,
right.
yeah.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Sheldon Williams. Yeah, we draft
Yeah,
them Duke boys.
I don't know why
But-
y'all drafting.
But my point is when you have a fantastic product on the floor already, like
Mhm.
Trey Young is a fantastic player.
Right.
DeJounte Murray, for all the complaining that people do, this dude is a fantastic NBA player, bro. Does he have flaws? Yes, every NBA player has flaws, right? The Atlanta Hawks starting five in their rotation, like their top seven, are fantastic NBA players. But then there are guys on the bench that just need seasoning off the radar. And if you rush the process, you microwave them, you won't get like your macaroni and cheese in the microwave is not the same macaroni and cheese that come out the oven, bro.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like if you allow these guys to develop off the radar and just come into their own, do little things. Like when you on draft night, you like, hey man, I'll see that dude in 3 years. But cats on draft night, they like, yo, they gonna help us beat the Celtics this year. Not relax, bro. Relax.
But you know what, Freezer? Sometimes it depends on who you're talking to, though. It's like
Yeah.
we did a show the other night, man, and like I tell these cats, man, like everything our young fans be telling me, hey, Damon, you got to be patient. Woo, 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 woo. Let me tell you something. Between the three fan bases up here, we the only ones without a title. So guess what? Everything people tell me, patience, let them cook. Woo, woo. You know how many times I've heard this with Marvin Williams, Sheldon Williams,
Sheldon
Josh.
Williams.
These are top 10 picks. I'm reeling off right now.
Right.
You know how
Josh
many
Smith,
times I heard that?
Al Horford.
You know what I don't hear? I don't hear stuff about, hey, let's roll the dice. Let's go all in.
Right.
Like for the Siakam move. Okay, does it make sense giving up young talent to go get this guy and he not gonna sign an extension? You could put up a good debate of why that's not smart. But for somebody like me who've been rooting for this team for a long time, and I've never seen this, especially in the last 2 decades, go all in to make a championship type move, go after a real all NBA player. Listen, Freezy, listen to me. I'm 46 or 47, one of them.
I forget my age.
When you get in your 40s, bro, it don't even matter. You're like, I'm 40 something, bro. I'm
Yeah,
old
I
enough
can
to
tell
drink.
cats I'm over 40, man. I'm one of them. I
right.
got to do the math, right?
Right.
And man, listen, I don't got time to wait for Buffkin. I don't got time to wait for what's my guy name? AJ Grip. You know why?
Jalen Johnson.
Because I can give him 3 years and then they turn out to be nothing.
Right.
And then I'm
You
right
give him
back,
3 years and Trey is 30 like that.
and he gone. Like
Right.
I don't know if y'all noticed this, but that extension that Murray signed put him right on the same contract timeline as Trey. So Right now, we on a 3 year. We got 3 years to make some shape right now, because on that third year, I can't remember about Trey's contract, but Murray got a player option after year 3, so he could bounce.
Right.
So we don't have time to wait for these guys and hope they develop into something. What we need is proven talent. That way we can say, like I was telling some homies, I said, oh, okay, so we do the move for Siakam and it don't work. At least we can look back as fans and say, you know what?
We
The
tried.
front office put forth that effort, a
Right.
real effort to go after this guy, get him, and try to make it run, and it didn't work. Yeah, that's a
But the thing is, you can't have an identity crisis, right? You either got to be all in or developing.
and I think that's what you're seeing now. See, the thing with us is that the owner got involved and didn't let Travis Slink finish what he was doing. The
Right.
owner he thought he was a basketball guy. He thought he saw something that he really didn't see. Travis,
Listen to his son.
yeah, Travis never believed that we was that good when we went to the conference final. That's why he never wanted to fire Lloyd Pierce. He knew this team still needed more time. Our guy Trey Young, still a young player, even though he was out there trying to win, he didn't, as a rookie, he didn't understand what it took to win in the NBA. Travis did, but our owner stepped in, made some controversial moves, calls that had the team not everybody on the same sheet of music. That's why sometimes we'll look at the Hawks and we'll come in the show and be like, bruh, we don't have no chemistry. The players don't match, meaning their skills, they don't go together. Then you come to find out it's because you got 2 and 3 dudes behind the scenes making the moves. We
And
don't have one vision.
I was
it's
gonna
one of
say
those things.
we struggle with that too because me and Freezy said we got too many cooks in the kitchen. We have
Yeah.
like multiple identities clashing on what they think a team should be or what build your team should look like, and that's why you have inconsistencies. My bad,
No. I think the Knicks are pretty stable now with Leon Rose. But with us, it was one of those things where you know if when you were younger and you're trying to do something whatever it is, and that older person's already is trying to tell you no, don't do that. I can see how this is going to turn out, and then they just let they say all right, you know and you had that thought like, all right, what's going to happen. That's kind of the way it was. Landry Fields and was convincing Tony Wrestler, hey, let's go do this move, and like I said, I don't hate that we did the Murray move. I'm just saying in general, Travis looking at us, they don't fit. We still got our flaws in this roster. We got to get under attachment, means we're going to have to trade some shooting away and Kevin Herter, and we're rushing this process along, and we're giving up future flexibility. And essentially you're starting the clock to contend with, and you're basically going through a test year or a year to try to make this thing fit. And he kind of, from assuming, he kind of just sat there and watched that thing unfold. And as the season went on and we were mid, we were I think out of the last couple of years, we had some of the most mid records in every category. We were just a mid basketball team, and that's what happens when you make a move like that. And you look at going to the trade deadline. Hey, what do you want to do? Yeah, we got the Kings pick, but what else do we have? We don't have 25, we don't have 26, we don't have 27, can't use 28. Can't use our own 24, so we got to wait till 29. Does the team really want a 29 pick? Okay, that means you have to surrender young players. Can we really go all the way in and win right now? Because if we can't, we're giving up the flexibility of our franchise. So, there's a lot of stuff that, Landry tried to do on the fly that Tony Wrestler was trying to push. But my biggest thing is he approved and was pushing the Murray deal, and you still don't want to spend the money. You still don't want to go.
You know what the biggest thing though is Analyst, the biggest thing, and the Dallas Mavericks fans should take this in as words to live by. And the same thing with the Hawks and other teams like OKC and others. You're not gonna win an NBA title led by 22-year-olds. You're just not. It's not gonna happen. Right? It doesn't matter if Trey Young is 24, 25, Luka 24, 25, and you got a bunch of dudes in that same age range. You're not going to win a championship at that age, right? Because they don't have enough basketball experience in them to do things in the playoffs. Like for instance, the Miami Heat are only the Eastern Conference finalists because Chicago had an 11 point, I think it was 11 point lead with 4 minutes left to go in a play-in game, and Chicago couldn't close out the Heat. And the reason why that was is because they didn't have enough experience to understand that under four with an 11 point lead, you shouldn't be out there shooting 3 pointers. Milk the clock, value the possession, work the ball inside, and then if the clock stops, it's usually because you are at the free throw line shooting free throws, icing the game away, right? What they did is got Miami trapped them. They got into this thing. They felt pressure to hoist up threes on a team that doesn't shoot threes. So they got outside of who they normally are. Miami comes back, beat them. Next thing you know, Miami is in the Eastern Conference Finals. And
You know what,
Miami is in
Bree?
the NBA Finals,
You know what,
right?
man? I think it's more of a, I think it's got to be a balance, and I think we're starting to learn that now.
Right,
We went one way. I know a lot of people think we were a young team. We weren't a young team, man. We had a lot of guys over 30 on this team,
right, right,
especially in key positions for this team, right? You want to have a certain balance, man, to because you're gonna need that youth, you're gonna need that energy on the team, man, moving forward, especially into the long 82 game seasons. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're talking about going further into the playoffs, you're gonna definitely need that. You want to, like I said, with the balance, you want to help those young guys get that experience with those older guys who can kind of teach them, hey man, in this situation you do this, in this situation you do that, right? So that way they can build that while also being having the youth while also kind of learning on the fly. Like you got to kind of do that now, especially with the way the CBA is now. You got to kind of build your team this way now. You got to build it more through the draft, like it's the NFL or something. So, like in our case, we had to, we got two young guys who's going to be part of the key rotation moving forward in Omax and Lively. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, those guys, a full roster full of those guys, no.
no,
But you got to have a certain balance to it. You know what I'm saying? As
yeah,
far as the youth, and then you got to have a little bit of the experience. You know what I'm saying? So,
right,
because you're right, 22-year-olds, no. I mean,
right.
24, 25. I mean, let's say,
You
like,
you
for
get you
example,
getting
like Luca's been in the league, what, 6, it's going to be 6 years now, and
6
he's
years, yeah,
24. So,
right,
I
that I
mean,
think that time the age is kind of irrelevant in this case. It's the time that you spend in the league and what have you learned in
yeah,
that time. So in six
okay.
years, you're there now.
that's
You
what I
pretty
go
much got
off
it
of,
figured out
real.
a little bit. Yeah,
That's what
But
I go off of.
but but look at your
I
NBA
go off
champs
of
though.
experience in the league, not your
yeah.
actual
Now
age.
this was like in the 90s, yeah, because guys was coming into the league at 21, 22. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little bit different, right? But like now, dudes coming in the league 18, 19, or whatever. So now it's like, okay, you've been in the league 6 years. You're still 22, 23, 24, or whatever, but you've been
Yeah.
in the league 6 years. So you
Right.
kind of got that experience under your
And that's
belt.
not even counting guys like not that's not even counting like the Euro guys like Luca
Yeah.
who
Oh
been
yeah.
pros
Yeah.
since they were 16.
Right.
Hmm.
So I mean, and that's why I'm with real. Like I go by age. So when people try to tell me you're 19, well, he only 19. I'd be like, bro, he got 2 years in the league, 1 year in the league. I
Right.
go by experience because that's where the money made at. The age don't matter. It's the experience. How long you been in the league. That's where you gain that experience
But
at.
but
That's
look at
why
but
that's
look
why
at
they try
your
to
but
start
look
so
at
young too. That's why they
But
try
you
to
know
get as
who
many
almost
like
pulled that
19
off
and 20
though?
year olds in the league.
Okay. KD and them almost pulled it off.
they
Hawks
they are
KD and them when they
But
went to
but
the
remember that's three generational talents on one team.
right
I mean, but
You
we didn't know
and
they
they
didn't
all
know,
was
we didn't know, but
yeah.
now you know. But yeah,
That's crazy.
and they
Three
had
MVP.
starters. They had starters on a bench that we didn't know were going to be starters,
Reggie
like Cameron Payne, Reggie Jackson, and
Payne
Eric
was a little
Mena.
bit later, but Maynard,
Eric Mena is the one I'm
Payne,
talking about. Yeah,
Jeff
yeah,
Green was around.
yeah.
Um, Ibaka.
But yeah,
But Ibaka was really like 30 though, but that's a whole
yeah,
nother.
yeah. That's a whole other story.
He was really like
But
Rocket.
but the point that I'm getting at though is that when you look at your last few handful of NBA champions, when you look at their roster, bro, they have rosters for their best players are dudes that are entrenched in their prime years 28, 27, 28, 29 years old. Giannis, Jokic, Kawhi, Steph, all those dudes, they were like, had gone through all these years of the trials and tribulations till they got to a point where they were just flat out ready to win. And it's the same thing and I understand the Mavs want to win a championship. And man, listen, the Knicks want to win it too.
No, we want to win one.
Right.
Yeah.
We just
Come
want to
on,
get to.
come on. After
We
having
just
this
want to get to the
conversation,
finals.
I kind of want y'all to get one, man. I ain't
I
gonna
just
lie.
want
You gotta
to.
change my whole mindset. I'm like, Atlanta, y'all deserve one, man. That's it.
Yeah.
I just want to get to the finals, please, Jesus, before I pass.
Hey, wait a
Yeah,
minute, man. It was almost emotional. I was watching the little Eastern Conference, the Western Conference Final celebration when the Nuggets swept the Lakers. The mom was all mad. So I was like, I ain't watching the finals. I ain't watching it. We ain't there. I'm sick of this organization. Not good. And I'm just looking at it, I'm like, man. I was like,
I get heated watching other
just
teams because
the
that was
feeling.
Denver's first trip to the finals before they won. Like, why
That
they?
their first sweep, their first finals appearance, because they never had a sweep period in their franchise history. They
Oh,
never
wow.
swept the team. They never swept the team until they did the Lakers like that.
I think it's destiny for the Hawks to play the Mavs in the finals, right? Like it has to happen.
What?
It ain't too far off, man.
The trade
Not
Luka
saying the Knicks
thing.
can't be in the finals eventually too. I'm just saying the Trey and Luka thing at some point. I feel
Like
like
who
it's
actually
destiny
really won that trade?
they have to play each other, right?
That may be the most
the trade
that may-
championship.
Mhm.
I think it's
we'd be sitting real pretty if Cam Reddish would have turned out to be something.
Yeah.
Who?
I'd still give y'all Cam Reddish or whatever his peak is and Trey Young for Luka.
Cam Reddish.
Personally.
Right. The idealized version of Cam Reddish, whatever that is. What is it? Paul George? I guess.
George, yeah.
That's
Except
what, remember, that's what he was compared to was Paul George coming out of college.
yeah.
I looked at him more like Penny Hardaway because he was a point guard in high
Yeah,
school.
he was a point guard.
Yeah, so he had to play making the. I think you know what I'm gonna keep it real with the Cam Reddish, man. In Atlanta, I think we didn't have the right coach, man. These days, since we're speaking on young players, man, you can't play. You can't. How can I say it? I don't think older coaches, say like a Nate McMillan, a Tibbs, when it comes to these younger players, you gotta and I hate to say it, but you gotta kind of handle these younger people with kind of like kid gloves sometimes because it's something like Cam Reddish when he said Lloyd Pierce hurt his feelings. I was like, what? Like you're a grown NBA player, professional. Yeah, he said he like hurt his feelings, man. He said he was being too harsh. Lloyd Pierce was like, I do tough love, but at the end of the day, as the head coach, you got to know that maybe tough love don't work for everybody.
Some of it is those highly talented one and done guys.
True.
That reality check hits them while they're in the league, whereas Tibbs does well with guys that have played multiple years in college. Like Grimes got his reality check first year at Kansas, that he was not who he thought he was, and he had to spend a couple years at Houston. IQ, Emmanuel quickly got his reality check his freshman year that you're not going to be dominant like you was in high school. You got to figure out your niche. You got to figure out how to score. You got to figure out how to play defense. When we talk about guys that make it to the league at 19, 18, 19, and they get their reality check in the league, it could break them.
Right. Yeah, you're right. You dead on with that, man, because listen, a lot of those dudes probably been coddled. Hey, you the best, blah, 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 coming all the way up, probably starting the 8th grade these days. So when you get to the pro level and you getting some pro
everybody's
coaching,
a big dog in the NBA.
Everybody a star, man, at the pro level, man. And when they tell you, hey, bro, you not good right now. And I think Cam Reddish got his reality check when he went to the Knicks. I think he thought he was finna go there and get all this playing time. And
Tears. They traded first. Hey, Tears said.
Shout out Tibbs on that trade, man. We appreciate y'all on that, man.
Hey, what went wrong with the whole Cam Reddish thing in New York?
He just trash, bro. Let's move on.
He is bad.
Trash, bro. He trash. Everybody drafted in the top 10 is not gonna pop, bro.
This is why I say aesthetic bias is one of the things that ruins the NBA, because people will say a guy is nice because he can make a smooth move, but the margins, slacking on defense, just boneheaded plays on offense, like isolating for no reason, dribbling 10, 11 times, like you're the focal point of the offense, just general aloofness, not playing within the team concept. These things matter in the long run. And the stuff that you don't see, it probably shows up in practices.
Yep.
Why that's why he doesn't get on the court.
Hey, when
That's why you really
when we
gotta
traded him
like.
to the Knicks, man, I seen a couple Knicks channels. They was turned up, man. It was like, oh, we got Cam Reddish. I was like, you know what I was thinking? I was like, what do they see that we don't see? Because
Hey, you know what's funny?
That was y'all on draft night. We got Cam
Hey,
Reddish. And then,
you know what's funny too, man? We as Mavs fans, we were talking about there was a rumor that we were gonna trade Reggie Bullock for Cam Reddish, man. A lot of Mavs fans like, yeah, get him in here, you know. And like you said, he'd been to Atlanta, he'd been to New York, and now he's with Portland or whatever. I don't think did Portland sign him back? I can't remember.
No, he was the
now
Lakers.
Lakers signed him
Oh,
for
to
2
the
years.
Lakers. You know what I'm saying? So
The Lakers think they got the next Michael Jordan. You know, I mean,
yeah, see,
when they talk about him.
and kind of what piggyback what the mom was saying a minute ago, man. We talk about nowadays, we see these. I call them. I say microwave society, man. Because when people see these players, these young guys, see what they do in college, and see the little bit of sparks and stuff they show in summer league, you automatically assume, hey, they doing that. They better come in day one, Michael Jordan, right? We don't give them time to develop and grow into a certain role or whatever, or get their skills up and nothing like that. It's like, oh yeah, you got to be Michael Jordan day one. Like players like the Treys and the Lucas, those guys kind of messed it up for those young guys. It's like those are just two outliers. Other than that, you take those two, put them over here. You got a whole slew of examples where it's like, okay, it took this guy, 2-3 years to kind of develop. Me and King always talk about all the time. Look at Jalen Brunson. It took him 4 years to finally be Jalen Brunson, right? Like you got to give these guys time to develop, man. And I know there's a cuss word in Hawk Nation, patience, right? Like we talk about it on our channel, right?
Man.
Yeah, we talk about now. When I talk about patience with us, I'm talking about as far as the young guys we do have. Like we just got Old Max, we just got Derek Lively, right? We talk about the fact that we see that, okay, we see the potential. You want to nurture it in the right way, right? You don't want to just throw them guys out there in the fire and say, oh, we just go do it. And then like if they don't do it, then folks are like, oh, trade them or we shouldn't have drafted them or whatever, right? Because like I said, we live in a time where it's like, well, we just saw Luka do it. Why you can't do it?
Yeah, Rel, this is so disgusting, bro. Like how you see, because the Mavericks, bro, y'all get talent so easy, right? Like sometimes y'all fall over backwards into talent, and sometimes y'all make genius moves by selecting talent. And regardless of how y'all get it, bro, dudes like y'all just found. I remember the year y'all found Detlef Shrimp, right? It was like, what is that? So he's 6'10", but he's not a big.
And still had like two other bigs in front of him.
Yeah, and Dale Ellis and Mark Aguirre and Roy Topley and Rolando Blackman and Derek Harper.
It's probably our deepest team in history, man.
Year after year after year, they add talent, bro. And like this is why I say sometimes y'all fall over backwards into talent. Y'all drafted Robert Tractor Trailer and traded him to the Bucks for Dirk Nowitzki.
Robert Tractor Trailer.
Who's that?
Right? They legit drafted a dude named Robert Tractor Trailer.
Hey, Tractor Trailer was tough. Yeah, he was tough out of Michigan, baby.
He was.
Wait a minute, hold on.
Hey,
it looked like a bowling ball out there, boy.
That's past me. Was this last time?
This way,
his name is Trey. His
name is Robert, but his nickname is Tractor. And his last name is Trailer.
Yeah.
He was a big guy. He was
a big guy.
And so I'm not dissing, and Mavs fans, listen, I'm not disrespecting y'all because skill and intellect are major parts of it, but so is luck, right? So is luck. Because y'all could have easily turned down the Hawks offer for Trae Young and just kept Trae Young, but it's like, no, we'll do it for Luka. You know what I'm saying? Why not? And then so y'all scouting department identified Trae Young as a great player, right? But then y'all like, no, let's roll the dice. And then y'all get lucky and it turns out to be Luka, right?
They made us an offer we couldn't refuse, man.
Hold on, Freeze, you talking about luck. Then why we can't get luck
They made us an offer we couldn't refuse, man.
Demond, I think part of
where our placement is. We can't never get lucky on that.
Bro, you know what? That could have hit so good for us. That pick that ended
we were supposed to be the third pick that year.
I thought, I just knew it was gonna be a top 5 pick. I was like, that Dallas pick gonna be top 5. Okay, we traded.
So we thought it was gonna be top 3.
Hey,
we projected at 3.
When that pick
ended up, analytics said it was gonna be in the top 4.
Yeah, man. Hey, because we was looking at my. Oh my god.
You was like,
can
"Oh,
I
the Mavs gonna be
Hey,
trash."
hey, wait a
And
minute.
then
Travis
Luka's
went to the
turned
press
it.
conference, right? They were like, "Why did you trade?" So they're like, "Why didn't you just take Luka or whatever?" He's like, "Well, we think this pick is going to be a really good." He's like, "Well, okay, so where do you think the pick is going to land?" He said, "Well, my analytics group said,
Yeah.
top 4, And I was like, and everybody was like, top 4 pick plus, plus Trey, and then
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
But analysts, but that's not even the lucky part. This is the part that I'm talking about is lucky, right? At 2, a dumbass franchise takes Marvin Bagley,
Right.
right?
Kings.
To let both of
Kings.
these dudes slide down the board, and then in that same
but
draft,
even Aiden,
but in that same draft, right? In the second round, they're like, okay, Jalen Brunson is still on the board. We'll take him.
Brunson was still on the board.
We'll take him. You see what I mean?
Just fresh off a championship.
Yeah, you see what I'm getting at? Like some organizations, like the Mavericks, they have skill, they have talent evaluators, they do the right thing, but they also get an unfair, unreasonable portion of luck. And they'll tell you that they don't get luck, right? They'll tell you that they don't get luck, but Hawks fans will say, "Hey, man, we took Marvin Williams number 2, and he was supposed to be such and such."
Freezy. We don't get luck.
Wait a minute.
Marvin Williams won't supposed to be
Hold on.
nothing, bro. You don't draft
Hey,
a dude who don't even start for
we
his
don't
college
get-
team number 2.
Right?
We don't get lucky though, Freezy. We make our own luck. I
No,
think that's the difference.
no, y'all.
So no, hold on. We were supposed to be. We never moved up in the draft ever.
Never.
Like we've never ever done that. We moved.
We
down
never do that.
and all that. That's fine, but y'all got that.
Hey,
Y'all
bro,
got
I
that
had
deal.
a one pick.
Yeah, y'all got the frozen envelope and all that. The Mavericks never.
They
had
owed the
that.
NBA owed us that.
We
though.
never had a number 1 pick.
The NBA owed us that
So
because
the
of,
Mavericks make their own luck. I feel like we make smart decisions. The Hawks had to accept the trade for us to get Luka.
no, but
see,
King,
here's the thing.
When you
With
make
that-
an offer like that, man, you
When
gotta.
that whole,
That's
when that
why
whole
you know-
Jalen Brunson thing, right? So y'all get to select a champion in the second round, and it works. We select a champion in DeAndre Hunter, and we sit up here wondering where
right.
You picked the wrong champion, Atlanta.
And y'all traded up in the draft for the Lakers to get that dude, bro.
Well,
The
okay,
thing-
so-
Come on, to sit
you
back
know
on
what?
that one, bro.
I'm gonna tell you, man. The thing with Hunter, this is what hurts Hunter.
Uh-oh.
It's
Here we
his
go.
knees. Hunter, I mean, I'm gonna keep it all the way above.
So he just like Kawhi.
Hey, hold on.
Yeah,
Hold
when
on.
it
Come on. Yeah, please
he was
explain.
Kawhi.
Hey, please explain
he's Kawhi before he got
DeAndre
there.
Hunter because I try to tell King this. Go ahead, explain DeAndre
This is the
Hunter.
thing
bro.
with Hunter. Hunter, if you pull up his numbers, the boy mid range, he's elite
Yeah.
when it comes to that mid range. Okay,
But
the issue is, and this me putting 2 and 2 together. I think his knees. If y'all remember, he had knee issues with us, especially during the start of his career with us.
yeah, when he had like a whole season or something like that.
Almost, and I think we brought him back too early. It was some games we'll bring him back. They say he good, he come back, knee swell back up, and I think that's what limits him from being able to. Like if you watch Hunter, he doesn't have first step explosiveness, and I believe that's due to his knees. So it's hard for him to get past a defender off a step. Now his handles is average at best. I think Hawks fans can agree with average. You'll get, depending on who you ask, they'll say it's terrible. But
A little below average.
No, he all right.
I'll say it's average.
Hey,
So he can't get by. He don't really get by his guy to attack the basket, and that's what his game is severely lacking. So it's easy to guard him because you know what he's gonna do. He gonna dribble. He either gonna pull up for 3,
Pull up. Yep.
or he gonna dribble to that elbow
Or
at
he-
that free throw line and pull up for that mid range. I mean, he do the same stuff all the time.
Yeah, but the moment you forgot, he also dribbles the ball off his foot, out of bounds. Sometimes.
I mean, yeah, he the first person I seen. He the first person I seen do a crossover and still run into the defender. Like I never saw that in my whole life.
I
No, we
did a
Jericho-
crossover
I thought as a wing,
Jericho
you supposed to be
Sims
able to
did that.
handle the
and
rock,
ran
man.
into the defender. I was like, how you even do that? Like,
Jericho Sims, you rolled into a defender, bro.
I think Hunter. If we
No, I'm
don't
talking about the
move
fact
up,
that I don't know how wings can't handle the ball, man.
You said Tim Hardaway Jr.
well, you know what? He didn't, if you look at
Hold on.
Hunter,
You talking about
Hey,
every
you
wing
want Hunter?
You talking about every wing we didn't have the last 2 years?
if you look
Oh,
at
okay,
Hunter,
my bad.
Hunter
You said
didn't handle
what?
the ball in college like that.
Nah.
He didn't handle the ball like that in college. You had what's the young white kid name? He in the league right now, floating around. The 3-point
Oh yeah, I
shooter.
need talking about. I need
He
talking about.
handled the
Jerome.
ball.
Ty Jerome.
Ty Jerome,
from
and
from
they,
Virginia, right?
yeah.
from
D
Virginia.
Blake.
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
Hunter didn't really handle the ball because he wasn't like an offensive focal point. Because remember, in Virginia, they was mainly a defensive first team.
Yeah.
They was more defending, and then their scoring was pretty much spread out through
Teamwork.
Yeah,
about four
yeah.
guys. So I
Mhm.
mean, he didn't really handle the ball like that in college anyway, which makes me wonder. If I could ever sit down and have a talk with Travis, be like, "What did you see in Hunter?"
Bro,
So,
I ain't gonna lie to you though, Demond.
but
I thought y'all, man, when I saw y'all drafted him, I was like, God,
That's
man.
I
well,
was
but
like, yo, that's
Demond,
all they need.
Demond,
Yeah, that's what I said too. I'm like,
here's the
dang.
thing. I'm I'm
Whoa, what year was it that he was drafted?
I'm not mad.
19.
I'm
RJ,
not
yeah.
I'm not
Oh,
mad at
so the year Kawhi won the championship.
Six.
Yeah,
yeah.
we drafted in 2019. You had, I mean, but if you look after him, I mean, besides Zion, I mean, I don't think nobody else really panned out in the draft. Period. When you
Right.
think
So
about
that's
Garland,
what I was.
Garland, Garland did.
So that's why so that's why so that's why
Man, boy.
I was gonna say, right, I'm not I'm because in that pick I think we had like four picks in the first round in that year, and we packaged them
Whoa.
all
and moved
to
up.
to
To
slide
move
up.
up with the
Now
Lakers.
that
Yeah.
now that draft wasn't that good, so I can understand, versus taking four average players, moving up and getting and taking a swing on a guy. But when I look at the roster, like I I listen to Mom and Mike all the time. They talk about how if you're gonna have a team, and John as well, they talk about a team. If you're gonna have a team with centered around Trey Young, you got to have big players. Well, I mean, we drafted 6'7" Kevin Herter, 6'8" DeAndre Hunter, 6'8" Cam Reddish. You got 6'9" John Collins. So I can see where he was trying to do with adding size around Trey, and then I mean, no one thought DeAndre Hunter was going to take this long to come around. So I mean, I think if we're going, it's the same thing with Cam Reddish, right? I think if you look at him in college, you say, okay, if we can make this work, we got a good team here. We got a guy in
He was
Cam
much
Reddish,
better than
who,
Cam in college.
who
Though. Cam was trash in college.
right? Well,
Yeah,
but
Cam wasn't even a good shooter in
you
college.
you got a comp in Paul George, you got a comp in Kawhi Leonard, you got Trey Young, who everyone's saying, oh, Steph Curry. And then, I thought Kevin Herter was a really good pick at 19. So I could see what he was trying to build. I don't know if it would have worked. I thought, you know, uh it just I thought at a lot of points we had too much talent where we couldn't find minutes for all those guys. However, with DeAndre Hunter, I mean, to me, my biggest thing with him is obviously he can't dribble the ball, he can't rebound, but his
Right.
inconsistency, like it's almost like he sees Trey and Murray, and I'm hoping that this will change if he's still on the roster with Quinn and still have a more defined role. It's almost like he sees Trey and Murray doing their thing, and it's like, all right, it's my turn. They get a couple possessions, and that's not in the rhythm of the game, so it hurts the team.
I
But
think I think if the Hawks redo that draft and just take Brandon Clark and Tyler Hero, I think we having a totally different conversation right now. Tyler
I
Hero was in
mean,
that draft. Tyler Hero was like what 29 or
yeah,
28.
but it's like this. Does Tyler
Hero
Hero
was
get
like
that? Does,
13.
does Tyler
Something
Hero
like
get
that.
that type of opportunity with us though, like he got with Miami? Like you got to remember, Trey Young is the focal point of our offense. I'm gonna say this. My last thing I say on Hunter. Hunter's career is not that bad. I'll tell you
No,
like this: you take his numbers and change his draft pick instead of being fourth overall to 12th. You'll take that. You'll live with that production that you're getting
Yeah,
from.
I mean, he's almost at 16 points a game.
Yeah, it's almost like, and I hate to bring it up, but it's almost like Marvin Williams. If you draft Marvin Williams 15th or
yeah.
14th, what's that, the last lottery pick, 14th overall, and you look at his numbers, because Marvin Williams ended up playing like 12 years. He career 14 points per game.
But if you take Chris Paul instead of Marvin Williams, the
Oof.
whole conversation is just
Chris
Yeah, but
Paul in
you know what?
Atlanta.
But I'm gonna tell
yeah.
you this though, Chris Paul, you got to remember now with Billy Knight. Billy Knight,
Hmm.
our GM at the time, he was actually
You know
ahead
he's
of his
from Duke too,
time.
right?
He was actually ahead of his time because he was trying to build. He wanted everybody on the team to look like the Orlando Magic look today. He wanted
Right.
everybody to be 6'6" and taller.
Right.
That's why he now. Don't ask me why he picked Marvin 2 overall when he could have went with anybody else. I mean,
Right.
necessarily you didn't have to get a Chris Paul. It was some other good players available at the time that would have still fit what he was trying to build. But that goes to show you when people say when you drafting in the top 5, you take the best player available. You don't try to take what you need. You take what's because guess what? When the player got good talent, a coach can make them fit. But if the player's talent level is not there, you're gonna have a headache on your hands. You know what I'm saying? Because you pick for fit, but now that said player don't fit. Now you stuck with this guy. You know what I'm saying? But when you take the best player available, he may not fit what you're trying to do, but the talent is there. So a good coach can find a role, for said player.
And that's what I'm hoping with Hunter if he stays.
Hunter gone, bro.
I'm hoping he'll be wearing a Raptors uniform and he'll be Jordan's problem.
He will. He gonna be wearing a Raptors. Same thing with Buffkin. Same thing with AJ. Gonna get him up out of there, man. Bring Spicy down here. What they call them?
Spicy P. Spicy P.
Spicy P. Somebody came up with something for Trae Young. What they say? Spice and ice, some shit like that.
Ice Spice.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh
no.
Ice Spice.
Now we talking about.
Let me go trademark that real fast.
And let me ask y'all a question, man. Speaking of,
we talking about gun
speaking of young talent, man. We all three. Well, matter of fact, I ain't hear anything about the New York team. But what was y'all take away from y'all's teams in summer league? Let me start with the New York guys.
Absolutely nothing.
Nothing. We ain't did nothing.
Jesus.
Bro, our summer league team
Trash.
I'll say this: we gave a 2-way contract to one of the OTE elite guys, Jalen.
He'll be something in 3 years.
He'll be something in 3 years. He's 19 years old, 6'6", pretty athletic. Already has like an NBA body.
Can he play defense?
Yes, that's his calling card.
Okay.
And rebounding.
I'm about to say now. Then
that's his calling card. Hey, but
if Tibbs is still employed, then
hey, look, if Tibbs puts his hands on him, he is destined to be Ronnie Brewer for the rest of his life. He's
if Tibbs touch him, better than that. If Tibbs touch that man, he gonna have a black shirt on talking about welcome to Waffle House.
Nah, we don't want Tibbs to touch him.
Also, wait a minute. Let me ask, not to get off top. I just want to know, like, y'all don't seem too happy to have Tibbs as y'all head coach.
Tibbs is a good coach, but
he's a good coach.
He's a good coach, but when you see his flaws and they're so evident repeatedly, it makes it frustrating because he can succeed in the regular season for sure.
Right.
But it's like when you get to the playoffs, you see when you go against the upper echelon coaches, you see how he gets played like a fiddle or gets outcoached.
Basically, he a 70-year-old Quinn Snyder, bro. That's what he is. He a 70-year-old Quinn Snyder, bro.
Sound like another playoff loser there, analyst.
Listen, no.
Yeah,
but it's one of those things where it's like
70-year-old Quinn Snyder.
It's a reason why his regular season record is so much better
Quinn knows offense
than the average coach, but he's like 10 plus games under 500 in the playoffs.
To sum it up, bro, Tom Thibodeau is a buffet eater, bro. That's what he is, bro. Like a lot of our wins come against like the stuff at the bottom of the fish tank. You know what I'm saying? So we get a lot of the bottom of the fish tank wins. You know how like in your aquarium you see the fish that don't hunt for other fish, right? He just sifting through the gravel. That's what Tom Thibodeau is. And we're going to get 55 wins by doing that. And then when we get to a good coach, Tibbs is going to get played like a fiddle against another coach.
Okay, all right. So
I'm going to give you an example. Atlanta.
What if y'all play up?
Oh, what if y'all play up? Y'all?
Tibbs versus Quinn. You say 70-year-old Quinn.
We're going to try real hard.
You're in here.
You think you're going to try real hard?
We're going to try. Like, matter of fact, I'm not even going to lie. We may win the season series, but it's not. But when we get into the playoffs, it's gonna be something else.
Hold on, Dre. Is that pre Siakam or post Siakam?
Oh, well then that actually
either.
Don't worry.
It don't matter if they get Siakam. They're not gonna beat us in the playoffs, bro. Because the thing about it is, no disrespect to Atlanta, but we have an older version of the same guy that y'all already have.
No.
But one of them is a champion. One of them is a champion, bro. One of them is a champion, and the other one goes down in the playoffs. You can't
I'm not understanding the
logic.
I'm not. Yeah, you gotta break this down to me.
Yeah. Okay. So basically, the stuff
So
that
you're telling me a dude that runs his players into the ground and wants to hold teams to 60 points a game, and cares nothing about offense. Is comparable
that
to
wins regular season games.
That wants 120 possessions a game.
One of them win playoff games.
I think Quinn Snyder has a better playoff record than
Quinn Snyder hasn't gone beyond the second round.
And then plus two, the thing about Quinn Snyder is Quinn Snyder's resume was built off of having Donovan Mitchell be a dynamic guy, right?
But
if you
have
this
year without him in the playoffs,
right? And I was just gonna ask, were y'all satisfied with how the Hawks looked in the playoffs this year?
I was encouraged.
Yeah.
You ain't got the shirt.
And when I say that, bro,
the Mom Petty.
Yeah, when I say that, bro, I don't mean to take shots at Atlanta. I respect Atlanta, bro. I go to State Farm Arena, bro. I be at I keep forgetting the name of the bar. Is it Harvey's Hunters on the corner, right around the corner from State Farm Arena? I keep forgetting the name of the other place, bro. It's always packed in there.
There's a couple places.
Yeah. And the bartenders in there always treat us nice when we go in there, right? But my thing is, I'm not disrespecting Atlanta. What I'm saying is all the stuff that Atlanta is saying about their team right now, the Knicks are saying about our team right now. Like the fans are saying, bro, we don't have no imagination on offense. I wish our wing players could dribble, pass, and shoot. We need more depth. The coach needs to be more. All those things, bro, is the same thing we say about Tom Thibodeau. Quinn Snyder, the dude in Memphis, and Tom Thibodeau are the same person, bro.
Taylor Jenkins?
Yep, they all the same person, bro, to me.
Well,
Taylor Jenkins believes in staggering his players.
I can tell you this. Freezy. We weren't supposed to beat y'all the last time we met in the playoffs, too.
Right.
We saw how that turned out.
Oh, I thought you were going to do it.
I've been already.
Bro, listen, Atlanta. Bro. Like the analysts, who gives y'all players more credit than me, bro? Don't I always say Atlanta has quality on their team?
Yeah, you do. I mean,
I'm merely pointing, but I'm talking about Quinn Snyder. I'm not talking about the franchise.
We about to be a top 3 offense.
Quinn Snyder is a now listen, right?
When has Quinn Snyder ever done that though?
Done what?
A top 3 offense in the NBA.
He did that with Utah.
He did that with the Jazz.
He did it with the Jazz.
Okay.
Matter of fact, 1 year with the Jazz, he had a 1 in offense and 3 in defense.
No, it was one in offense, two in defense. Now,
in the playoffs, it didn't.
But here's the thing.
Like I just let that in there.
Here's the thing. If Mike Conley, isn't the point guard traveling all over the place, and you got wings that can't defend, and Bojan Bogdanovic and Joe Ingles, and you got a guy in Rudy Gobert who is a rim protector.
Oh, you talking about the Hawks?
No, I'm talking about
because honestly, it sounds like the same thing we were just talking about the Hawks an hour ago about Clint Capella and DeAndre Hunter.
No, I mean.
Shout out Clint Capella, man, because Clint Capella
DeAndre Hunter is a much better defender.
My guy Clint Capella, he fun fact, Clint Capella guaranteed Game 5 win in New York.
Yeah, and I like Clint Capella, by the way. But
we were out. Come on, bro. We were out here depending on Alec Burks to save us, man. Like, come on.
Hey, boy, that was so funny.
He did guarantee Game 5.
He said, team though, right?
Yeah,
y'all
Clint Capella said we're gonna go to New York and we're gonna win.
And he said we're gonna go to New York and we're gonna be physical and they ain't gonna take it. We're gonna do it and they're gonna like it.
Yeah.
Clint Capella talked trash to us about how soft we were.
I ain't never heard Capella say nothing like this.
He was mad.
Hey, look, that's greasy talk for somebody that's like 30 with a blonde patch in his head.
But can't no fan base get you turned up like that. Like New York fans. New York fans get you turned up, bro. Like
so.
Hey, but Dre, the thing is, let me just say this real quick. So Clint Capella talked mad greasy, right? And then game 5, guess what the Knicks fans do? Like we look at Clint Capella and like, oh boy, he looks scary. But how about we just say F Trey Young the whole game? You remember that, y'all? Clint Capella was the one talking greasy, and we out here like, let's talk about Trey DeBarge. We out here picking on Trey DeBarge, bro.
We talking about that man having male pattern baldness,
yeah.
They
call that man
I don't know how it even got to that point.
One of Trey Young's epic pictures is that one in the garden when he just standing there looking back at y'all smirking. Like that picture is so dope to me. I'm finna get that put on the wall, bro. He looking back at y'all just like, yeah, keep feeding me, dog. Feeding
ice cream me.
Hey,
that was funny.
I saw the funniest one was when Nerlens Noel bumped Trey, and Trey was like, okay, whatever. I'm just shrugging it off.
Yeah, that's when young Solo, our boy Solo came in there and got on him about that.
Yeah, but you know what? You know what was I don't know if y'all noticed. They started doing that in Boston too. Game 5 when I think it was.
They're so unoriginal up there, man.
I think it was like 6-7 minutes left in the game, and Trey was at the free throw line. And they started yelling F Trey Young, and and we came back, and Trey hit the game winner, and I don't think he
I think y'all need to start pumping in negative fan noise at
That's
State
what
Farm.
I do that shit all the time. Every time I talk bad about Trey, he balled, bro. So I was like, man, I need to keep it going, man. I talk bad, man. But you know what? I want to show y'all something, man. Y'all was talking about Summer League, man. Let me tell you something, bro. My guy, Mo G.
Oh, God.
Yeah, you talk about him every show.
Every day. Look, I'm so invested in this guy. Look, I done got his rookie cards and everything, dog.
Okay.
Hey, this dude, hey, I'm telling you, man. I'm telling you, if we don't, this guy
turn into somebody that's a couple thousand. You looking at right?
Y'all clip this part right here. When I say Mo G gonna be an all-star in 3 years, clip this part so many years and these things go up.
I got a Luka rookie.
I'm on it. I got Trey rookie. I got all our
rookie?
rookies. I got Trey rookie. I got his auto rookie. I know, guys. I'm a little old, but I've been collecting cards for like 20 years. But
no, that's not old. That's not old.
It's all I got.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow.
That's all I got.
Wow. Bro, and yo, man.
Hey, welcome back to Curry then, bro. You know?
Yeah.
You don't find this to be mad. You don't find it just to be mad disrespectful that these cats is up here pounding their chest about how good their team is, and our summer league team featured a dude that's 32 years old. First of all, don't feature a dude on your summer league team on your name Charlie Brown, bro. Don't because we
had Charlie Brown.
We already look like the Peanuts gang anyway. You know what I'm saying?
You said sometimes you just got to prosper and live lively.
You know what, y'all summer league might have been better if Dallas didn't screw y'all out that pit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Matter of fact, I'm not gonna hold you. We would have traded that pick.
I was just about to say, Dre,
they'd have traded it back.
I would have did with that pick.
They fined Cuban. They fined Cuban for that, huh? Didn't he get fined?
$750,000?
A slap on the hand. What's that? Yeah. What's $750,000 to Mark Cuban?
Wait a minute.
I don't know.
We got snitches in the organization as well.
Bro,
and then how they find them for that money and then take away our second round pick for the Jalen Brunson tampering thing.
Bro, that was hilarious.
We didn't tamper.
No, he's saying
we definitely tampered.
Yeah, y'all tampered. That's what I'm saying. Like we don't deserve to lose our pick.
Wait a minute. Yeah, y'all weren't y'all sitting front row in the playoffs? Y'all had y'all whole front office
and Julius Randle. Randle held up tip off because he out there dapping up dudes with a letter.
Julius Randle's excuse, wink, wink, is that I live in Dallas. I got a home out here. I just happen to be here for the playoffs.
I just happen to be here for Spider and Jalen Brunson. Come on, bro.
He's from Dallas, so I mean, it didn't make sense, I guess.
That was so JV. That was so junior varsity, bro.
Leon
you know what I'm saying?
Wayne Wesley there with two cell phones, just monitoring the situation courtside. Like, come on, bro.
Yeah. Leon Rose would have traded y'all pick though. He would have traded it to the Thunder for two top 25 protected picks.
No,
And
Atlanta, they traded it to us.
and a least favorable second round pick, and he would have went up to. Well, he don't talk to the media.
We just
No,
use
Atlanta,
it.
they'd have traded it back to us for Tim Hardaway Jr. for the third time.
Yeah, or we use it in a sign and trade for Dante DiVincenzo.
I swear to God, if I see Tim Hardaway in a Knicks jersey, I will be boycotting.
Hey, what if y'all trade Tim Hardaway for Evan Fournier?
Bro, Hardaway,
I don't want it.
It's like Hardaway only
I already had
play
to talk with
3
Freezy.
teams,
I don't want to
bro.
talk about that, man.
He only
Yeah,
plays 3
Atlanta,
teams.
Dallas, and New York. That's it.
Yeah, he left
These
New
three
York.
teams right here. That's why we
Hey,
connected.
look, he left New York, came to Atlanta,
Got Tim.
went back to New
To
York,
New York,
went to
Dallas.
Dallas, and now
Trying
he
to get traded back to New York.
we gonna use Dallas pick to make sure that work. The Dallas pick we get this year, we
Nah,
gotta
this-
make sure we.
I
So,
hope
so do y'all get Dallas pick this year?
if it's
It depends on where we
if
finish.
it's unprotected.
Well. I mean, it's gonna be like a 27, 28, 29, 30 pick.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah.
Well,
In a week draft. So,
They hope that they're hoping it's gonna be that 30 pick. No, they're hoping it's gonna be 30.
It ain't one of those picks that convey
Yeah,
to
I
a
hope it's
second
30.
round pick, dude.
It is. It is. If we go down 2
Yeah,
more years,
if we keep it this year, then next year it'll be a second
that should
round
be a
pick.
second round pick. Yep.
yeah.
I think it's top 8 protected or something.
It's
But
top
I-
8 this year or
it's
10?
top 10.
Still 8 this year.
I think it's still
Top 10.
10.
Yeah,
Still
it's
but
10.
I-
Yeah.
But if I'm
Yeah.
if I'm Dallas, right? If this is a weak draft, just being honest
Just
to
give it to
gain
him.
some flexibility, just release the protections
Release
and,
it.
That's we've been saying that.
and,
saying
and
that.
give them the pick.
Yeah.
You know,
Just give him the pick.
Hey, yo, Dre, what's up with what was the deal with with Obi Toppin? Obi went off on Tears, man. What was the deal on that, man?
Tom Thibodeau is not a fan of Obi Toppin, and Obi
Yeah.
Toppin is not a fan of Tom Thibodeau.
Right.
We
Shocking.
put him in a situation where there was no win for him.
Right.
Like he came here, we were supposed to get rid of Randall. Randall played all NBA level. Then we decided, okay, I guess we're gonna juggle these two guys at the
Right.
same time. And then we know Tom Thibodeau doesn't care about playing modern basketball, so we weren't gonna even play them together,
right?
which is, I guess, always an option. So we reduced his value all the way. Like as soon as Randall hit all NBA, and you knew you were gonna extend him, you should have just moved off of him and
You
got
should've
like a
moved
late
off.
first rounder or a decent second rounder. Like
Bruh,
the
I
second
thought-
rounders that we're getting are like two of the least favorable from trash second rounders. They're gonna
Yeah,
be like
I'm about
50 overalls. Like
I thought y'all were getting like I thought y'all would at least get like a lottery or top 14, 15 protected first round pick. I saw two second round picks that came from I think Denver.
Hold on.
I
You know what we should have did?
Right.
You know what we should have did, Dre? Which would have made sense?
Mhm.
We should have just traded Obi Toppin for Josh Hart. That's what we should have did. You know
straight
what I'm
up.
They kept Cam
saying?
Reddish.
Yeah.
Nah, bro. I'm cutting Cam
No.
Reddish.
I'm talking about in that trade. You don't have to
okay.
keep him completely. You know what I'm saying? You could have got something else for Cam Reddish. But
I think
ultimately,
Portland was the only team.
You're not getting a chopped cheese for Cam Reddish.
yeah, you
know,
ain't get
You ain't even getting a protected second for Cam Reddish. at this point.
God, no.
Hey, Dre, you saying? I want to make sure I heard you right. You saying coaches can lower players' value?
Oh, absolutely.
Or you said that's possible to happen? Where my
Oh,
guy
yeah.
Larry at?
I hope Larry's watching.
Because I said you said Christian Wood.
Christian Wood is out here dying for a vet minimum from somewhere, bro.
right.
Jason Kidd. Thank you. Just wanted to know.
And you know what?
Thank you for the
So
confirmation.
analysts, the thing is that frustrate us, right? So we traded unprotected pick for Josh Hart, right? So the pick that we gave for Josh Hart wound up being Chris Murray, the brother of Keegan Murray,
Right.
right?
Mhm.
And then now when you look at our
That's what's
bench
up.
in a position of need, what the Knicks need,
Shooting.
A wing, a big
Chris
wing that
Murray.
can shoot. A
Chris
3-and-D
Murray.
wing.
Yep.
Yeah.
So you traded Josh Hart.
Jay,
Right, you acquired-
Freezy, real quick. I'm gonna learn to you right now. Josh Hart is the backup 4 on y'all team.
Probably.
He's the backup 4. Y'all gonna squeeze Dante in there, and Dante better be playing some defense, or y'all.
I mean, but that's what he does.
or that's
what he
or,
does.
or that's gonna be a waste of money,
Villanova.
right?
he's a-
Because he can be sitting on the bench. But to me, the reason I didn't like I wasn't a fan of the DiVincenzo sign. I mean, I think McBride can be good for y'all. And
Who Shake McBride? Because I
Deuce,
know you're not talking about Deuce McBride.
Deuce, yeah, Deuce.
Drake.
Deuce.
Okay, go ahead, Drake. Because I know Drake have an opinion on Deuce McBride.
And then are y'all gonna trade quickly?
Well, I'm gonna say this: the Dante move,
dancing in the garden.
From everything planning out for the Dante move, it looks like it's the move before the big consolidation move. So, like, one of IQ or one of Grimes are probably gonna go where we trade them and some picks for a guy.
Like Pascal Siakam or something.
Yes. if Tom Thibodeau didn't want to play two power forwards together, he not gonna know what to do with Pascal. But
yeah, Tibbs have a heart attack. He'd be like, "So, do you want me to play Pascal over Julius, who's all NBA?" I don't understand.
But
I don't understand why you do this deal.
Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm not. I'm talking about. I'm sorry. OG Anunoby.
Yeah, OG.
I'm sorry. Not Pascal,
the consolidation move.
OG Anunoby needs to be shot by 28.
But with OG though, I was talking to some Raptors fans, man, talking about OG, and they was telling me that OG wants more, want a heavier load on the offensive side of the ball. Can y'all provide that?
Nope.
No, because we got Quinn Snyder, bro. I mean, bro, basically,
freeze.
Come on. See, with Quinn Snyder, hey, everybody got to roll with Quinn because all we're gonna do is just shoot threes all damn day. So I mean, that's what we about to be doing.
Not the whole game, but Quinn said he wanted around 120 possessions a game.
He wanted us to shoot at least 40 threes a night.
He changed y'all to the Phoenix Suns.
Hey, wait a minute.
You know what? King,
hilarious.
If it result in the wins, I don't care who he turned us to.
I feel you.
Hey, wait a minute. Matt, I couldn't help but laugh. I love Quinn, Matt, my guy, but I was like, Matt, you gotta help it. Matt was talking about, yeah, Quinn is he's teaching the guys these plays in different languages. I was like, what?
I was listening to that one episode of y'all, Demond. He was talking about something about Quinn got like 800 plays or something.
But then,
can't nobody remember 800 plays. What are you talking about?
Wait a minute, and then
and what did I say? I told him. He said he got 800 plays. I was like, but he don't have a play to inbound the basketball.
He don't have no right.
And he Matt
and that's a Tom Thibodeau thing, by the way.
Matt told me, bro, this dude said this dude's so funny, man. He said, Quinn got over 800 plays, la la la. I said, but he won't have a play to inbound the ball, not from that spot on the court. I was like, really? He's been a head coach for 8 years.
Well, I don't.
Analysts don't do an analyst because we. You a coach? We are already.
But see, I don't buy that he didn't have a play. I think that was just a high. I think.
No.
Did you see the way we ended the season, bro?
Bro, I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. And listen, I don't watch enough Hawks games to claim to be an expert. But I do live in. But I do live in South Carolina, and I was watching a lot of them on Bally. I get the Hornets and the Hawks, right? The thing I noticed about I dislike about the Quinn Snyder thing is they brought him in during the season and didn't give themselves a chance to interview any of the available head coaches, the guys that would be available after the season.
So Freezy, I was talking to Matt the other day about this, and I'm gonna be honest with you. There's only one other guy. If I watch everything unfold, there's only one other guy I would have wanted.
Right? Udoka.
No, I would have wanted Nick Nurse.
Jason Kidd.
Nah, not Jason Kidd.
Oh, if you get Nick Nurse, if you get Nick Nurse, Trae Young is playing 45 minutes a night.
Yeah, and he'll be playing off ball.
So no, and I'm fine with that. So no, what I'm saying, because that's what Quinn said he wants to do, but we'll see how that goes. But Nick Nurse, I would have taken Nick Nurse. Jason Kidd, no, I don't know. Running the same out of bounds.
Jason Kidd still got a job though. He's still
that's true.
For now,
some of us don't know why, but we'll see after this year.
It's called extortion, King.
But the only reason why I say this, right? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying don't hire Quinn Snyder. What I'm saying is allow the season to play out with the guys that you got, because ultimately the season still didn't end the way you guys wanted it to, right?
Right.
Wait till the end of the season, interview all the candidates, and even if you don't hire certain guys, you can get certain ideas from those guys that you might be able to implement with with whoever you hire. Say you wait to the end of the season and then you bring Quinn Snyder in after you interview everybody, right?
But see,
Or
but Freezy, hold up. I don't think we get Quinn Snyder if we wait to the end of the season. I think
Do you
some of the
see the
other teams.
coaching market went
I think
crazy?
some of the, I think some of the other I think some of those other teams jump on him, and I'm gonna be honest, they may pay him a little more than what we're paying him. I
but
mean,
but so if
you
you
know,
don't get Quinn Snyder, you get Monty Williams
uh,
or Ime Udoka, right? My thing is,
I'm just saying, to
But
me, the
but you
coaching market was good, but there's only one. Like I
but you
said,
got
I would have only taken Nick Nurse over
but
Quinn
you
but
also
Snyder.
got to remember this, Freezy. Nate McMillan had already resigned.
he was trying to get out of
He
there.
quit in January.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
the Hawks asked him, could he stay on until we could find somebody to replace him? That's
Right.
why now Udoka, was he on the list? I would say
Probably.
most likely, yeah. But
Freezer, we did interview coaches though,
yeah, I
more than
believe
Quinn.
word on the street was that Cal Corver is the one that helped convince Tony Rustler to go with Quinn Snyder.
But you go with Quinn Snyder.
We paying Quinn a lot of money.
Right.
I want to say, correct me if I'm wrong, analyst. I think we paying him like $8 million a year.
Right.
Right.
So I mean,
Seems like a
uh,
discount now compared to like Monty.
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
you know what else? What else is that Quinn also got executive has an executive role within the organization.
Right.
So I think that played a part due to what we had with Nate McMillan, how that all that fell apart behind the scenes, front office wise, plus the stuff he went through in Utah, because he had a little beef with the front office in Utah
Utah, right.
also
Right.
about
Right.
his only playing nine man rotation, only playing the players, which I mean I can't be mad at him, only playing the player that's gonna help him win. So he
Yeah, I
was really
mean,
focusing on playing those younger guys. He played the people that was gonna help him win, which he clashed with the Utah front office about that.
Because he
I
Tom
mean,
Thibodeau, bro.
We didn't really have
no,
time.
no,
Yeah,
no,
we
no,
didn't
no,
really
no,
have
no, no,
time
no,
to
no.
wait. We didn't have,
We,
and I'm gonna tell you something else. I'm glad we didn't wait, because what I didn't want to happen is for something click, and then the
yeah.
Hawks going to run, and then we're like, oh, Nate isn't the problem. Let's keep Nate because we just did all this, blah blah blah. Blah. We needed a new voice.
But what about the guy that coached in between Nate and Quinn Snyder?
Joe Prunty.
Okay.
That was
Because I think
Prunty.
weren't y'all like 2-0 with him or something?
Yeah, but was giving up 120 points a game under him also.
Yeah,
So,
well, yeah.
I mean, we got lucky the ball was falling those 2 nights we was playing.
Right.
But I mean, I'm glad we picked up Quinn the time we did, because you know what? You could have had a bigger pool of coaches to interview and choose from, but guess
Right.
what? Quinn would have had other
Mm-hmm.
teams he could have went to. I'm sure that Phoenix team would have looked nice when they got rid of Monty.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to compete with other teams to get them. You
Right.
know what
Right.
I'm saying?
We're
I
what
think I
Phoenix
think
hired Frank Vogel as like a final option. So they
I,
wanted Nick Nurse, Mike Budenholzer, etc.
I was gonna say like he has executive input, so they brought him in so he has some say in terms of the draft, and whatever
Mhm.
moves you make in terms of trades or whatever, he's in the room helping make decisions along with I think Landry Fields as well, right?
Right.
So
Yeah.
it's like a collaborational effort. Whereas like the coaching aspect, you would love him to have like a training camp, which he's gonna get in.
Yep.
But the other stuff, like the window dressing and the other stuff, and like communication and the hierarchy and all those things, getting that sorted out 3-4 months ahead of time is a little bit. It's better for the summer process
Yeah,
going into the season.
to Dre's point, if we still looking for a coach at this time, then we don't have Murray and Trey practicing together, because that's what they was doing this summer league with Quinn. out in Vegas. They was going over plays, working together.
And
Quinn
Quinn has say in that extension. Quinn has say in that extension.
Solution Sports
Yeah,
comment, because we would have did that.
Oh,
We would have
yeah.
did that.
yeah, we would have did some stuff like
We
that.
would have did that.
Man.
Glenn Rivers.
We
Glenn.
would have had Ashley Boy's dot
Yep,
flipping up and down the side.
Hey,
And then-
you would have got
yeah.
Austin's father.
And then I would have been up here trying to get behind Doc. Hey guys, look, we got a former Hawk legend, an NBA champion coach, blah 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 blah. Even though we know,
for the people.
even though this dude been living off that 2008 championship for how long now? Because he ain't done nothing.
Right, but I think your
50
other
years, I
options
think.
are available too. Like y'all could talk to the Clippers about Tyronn Lue. Right, there are a ton of options.
Breezy, you think he leaving LA for?
Yeah, he disgruntled in LA right now. The Clippers.
No. I'm just saying.
The Clippers won't let him interview because they know he gone.
We talking about the Hawks, but no. So what I'm saying is that listen. Now I like some of the other guys. Like I think we interviewed Jordy Fernandez, Kenny Atkinson, and Mitch Johnson. But I mean, I wouldn't
Adrian
have been
Griffin.
I don't think we interviewed him.
We don't need no.
AJ Griffin would have been playing 45 minutes.
We don't need another.
He would have started over Murray. You know,
we don't need another first-time head coach. That's what we don't need.
But you know what? I think the only person on that list that we didn't interview, that we didn't get a chance to interview because we hired Quinn, was Becky Hammond.
And Johnny Bryant.
God,
Y'all didn't interview Johnny Bryant
either. Don't bring her up, please.
Matt would have been.
Matt would have loved that. I would have loved. You know what I would love to see if we would have hired her, and I would have had a show with Matt and John.
Oh man!
Oh, that would have been.
That sounds very problematic.
That would have been. Hey, listen, Damon.
Hey, let me know next time you tap in with us, Dre, and I'm gonna say something to John about some women referees and listen to a response, man.
I make sure I hit that like anytime you come up. I hit the like no matter what.
Hey, on that note, y'all, we're gonna probably cut it here. We already over 2 hours.
Can I ask you a question before we go?
Yeah, go ahead.
Just real quick. Just a real quick question. How close are the Mavericks to winning the NBA title?
Starting center away.
Closer than the Hawks.
Starting center.
We just need a Freezy. Listen, man. I just told you I've been a fan my whole life. I've been praying every night, man. Just please have a center.
Who y'all got at the 4? Oh, Grant Williams. He a starter.
Hey,
fine with it.
Real. You know, Christians. You know, they pray for each other. You know.
We need that. We definitely gonna need that.
You know, we're gonna need some additional prayer warrior help over here because I want you to look behind me. You know, we see the American flag, the Canadian flag, you know, the flag from 1958 and whatever that other banner is, and then we got two players' jerseys. If you ever go in the State Farm Arena, you just look up and see how pitiful
it's a beautiful place, bro. Dre, man, I'm going in.
Beautiful arena, but guess what?
Definitely going.
No,
I'm definitely going.
They need to put a Utah Hawks banner up. Might as well. Shit.
Well, right.
We got plenty of room up there.
You should put one up on your screen yourself.
It's plenty of room up
there.
there.
Hey, you know what Doc Rivers would have did? He would have did a thing he did in Boston. He would have put that little light in the empty place where the banner was supposed to go to. So we're gonna rekindle some stuff.
But you know what, real though, I definitely got to get up there, man. When the Hawks come to Dallas, man, I'm gonna come up there, man. We got to tap in.
I think y'all Hawks are close to being a beast in the Eastern Conference. I think that the Bucks are way overrated, and I think the Celtics are going to take a step back. You don't know what Philly are going to do. I think this is the year, and I know it's going to sound like summertime talk, but I think that the top teams in the East this year, in the top 5 somewhere, Cleveland, Knicks, Hawks, in some order.
I agree.
Right? In some order. I don't see Boston. I think Boston hit that point where they hit their head enough times where they can't figure. When they traded Marcus Smart, I was like, they desperate.
Yep.
Right? They desperate because they can't figure it out. They searching for answers. And usually teams don't find an answer. When they searching that hard, they don't find that in a year. So if we're the number 2 seed or the number 3 seed. I think Cleveland has taken
Well,
the steps, bro.
I think so too. And I'll be real quick, right? And Freeze, I'll say this: I don't know if I don't know if it'll be the regular season, but I definitely think the postseason will be the time for the other teams to elevate. But I think Cleveland adding Niang, Strus, Jerome, and Jones off the bench.
They added
You know,
shooting, bro.
they added shooting size,
Yeah.
and I think they made the necessary steps, but. I don't know. I mean, we were 41-41, got put in the first round, and so far we added Patty Mills and Wesley Matthews. So, you know,
Atlanta, I don't trust Milwaukee. I think they falling off.
They're getting old. They're
I
getting
don't think
old.
Giannis is going to stay there forever. Everybody
washed,
thinks he
bro.
signed that one contract and he won. I think because he won, he now going to need more championships. He's going to eventually leave.
Everybody outside of Giannis is washed, bro.
Other than that, though, I do think Atlanta and all you guys do have a chance to be in there because I think Boston's going to find out why we call one guy street clothes. But that's all I got to say, bro.
Facts, my guy. Speaking facts.
They put all learn street clothes.
Yeah, they gonna learn.
Let me ask y'all this real quick before we leave Real and King. How far? How can I say this? Do y'all feel like y'all squad is good enough to beat the Nuggets in the playoffs?
With a starting center, I do.
With a starting center, we gotta have a starting center.
The Mavericks have throughout our time with Luka Doncic, he's never had a problem with the Denver Nuggets. And I don't want to say that because I say that about the Golden State Warriors as well. And then they beat us in 5. But Luka's a different beast.
You got the right Powell.
No, I know. But that Luka,
I think y'all need a wing player, bro. I think y'all need a wing scorer. If y'all find a wing scorer, I think the center is.
I think people underrating our wings already.
Center.
I think
we
have
the White House, a center. Yeah, listen, Freeze. I keep explaining this to people. Sorry, I can't hear me cut y'all.
Go ahead.
A starting center. Listen to these whopping numbers.
Capella.
A starting center. Yeah, y'all talk about Mitch Robinson with his 8 and 8, and then I know Demond talk about they 2 centers they got, they dueling or whatever. Our starting center gets you 5 and 4.
4 for 4? Damn.
5.
He gets you a Wendy's combo as a starting center in the NBA.
But he got the best offensive rating.
Shout out to that double single.
We got we got Josh Green, we got Old Max, you got Grant Williams. We're good on the wings. We're good. We desperately need a starting center.
They sound like ham sandwiches to me, bro.
Real,
I think y'all would have been great if y'all had a Harris.
How y'all feel when you hear Gerald be complaining about a combo?
They already had Harrison Barnes. Remember,
we had 9 rebounds. He didn't get my. 10.
Yeah, I would listen to y'all's channels. Y'all, I heard a Knicks fan complaining about Mitchell Robinson or whatever. Or I heard y'all Atlanta fans complaining about y'all 2 centers. Bro, our starting center gets you 5 and 4, bro.
Yeah, bro. The reason our defense is so trash, people don't realize this because we can't stop possessions.
Can't get the board.
Oh, you mean in possessions and get rebounds? Yeah.
So it's always tired by running out there again because you can't stop the.
Matter of fact, let me ask y'all this question. Let me ask y'all each y'all this. Atlanta, who is y'all's Atlanta fans? Who are y'all's leading rebounds for y'all team?
Clint Capella.
Gotcha. What position he play?
Center.
Gotcha. New York, who's y'all lead rebounders?
Hold up, bro. Did they give another one?
It's Randall. It's Randall, but our rotation of centers are dominant on the glass.
No, just saying. Power forward, center. He's power forward, right?
A big.
Our leading rebounder is a point guard.
Our second leading rebounder is a point guard.
But he 250 though.
Hold on. Our second leading rebounder Freeze is a point guard that's undersized.
Oh, okay.
Our third leading rebounder is
that's why I say
a guard.
We desperately need a center.
Okay.
We gotta have one. We got to have one. We have one in our whole entire franchise existence other than Tyson Chandler and Dave Donaldson.
And Knicks, I want to talk to y'all about Isaiah Hartenstein. When the convo moves into this starting role, we're gonna need a big behind him. And I heard y'all were dangling Hartenstein.
We could do the Trey Sanders Trey for Hartenstein. Come on,
straight up, bro. Come on, bro. That's too easy.
Yeah, I'm about to say on that note. Hey, before we go, man, Demond, y'all got anything y'all got coming up on y'all channel? Y'all want to tell the folks about?
Everybody promote.
Not off the top of my head. Shout out to Real King, Dre, Freezy, my guy, the youngest in charge analyst. This was dope. I enjoyed this.
Yeah.
Sorry I was late, but I'll be on a CP workout time.
Man, I know it's all good.
And but I did want to say this. All my We Talk Hawk family, shout out to the gang. I do owe y'all a set schedule. I know I'll be going live random and stuff last minute, but it is what it is. So I ain't got really nothing upcoming unless analysts gonna do something. But I'm gonna definitely tap in. We're gonna tap in no later than Tuesday. We're gonna do something Tuesday. Hopefully we got some more Siakam news or something like that. But I do owe y'all a set schedule so everybody can get in tune and whatnot. But that's all I got.
Yeah, hopefully we got a Woj bomb by that time. You know, a Woj bomb.
Found
Go for
out
that
that
too.
Woj is the ops now. So it's like,
Hey, but
Woj
shout
is
out,
literally
yo,
working for
Freezy,
everybody.
real quick. I'm sorry, guys, real quick. I want to say this. Y'all picked up a guy that I really like, man, who used to play for the Hawks, and I hope y'all give him a chance, man. The homie,
Nathan
who's
Knight.
bro,
Nathan Knight, yeah.
get that guy some. I don't know why we didn't get to do no playing time. The
Tibbs
dude,
need to find a way.
he
Find a
good,
way.
man. He just need an opportunity. I just want
Tibbs
to.
loves stout, undersized
Tibbs
guys.
is a
So
chubby chaser, bro.
yeah, so he
So
So,
gonna
so if
play.
he a big dude, Tibbs gonna play him, bro.
so that means that he got to play. Well, if he said you like undersized, that means he got to play center. But Nathan Knight, yeah.
Tibbs gonna
Oh
play that
man.
man 52 minutes a game, bro.
God.
But yeah, hey Freezy, what y'all got coming up, man?
So like Demond, man, I owe everybody on Blorange Tears, man, a set schedule. Just got some career rearranging that I'm doing right now. So we're gonna try to get back to Knicks Morning Drive in the morning at 9:30 and the Knicks at Night podcast at 11. Just got a whole bunch of stuff that trying to figure it out. But it's summer and we're gonna figure it out, bro. We waiting for that Woj bomb where Woj says that Evan Fournier is a Dallas Maverick. That's what we waiting on.
As long as it's for JaVale McGee.
Hey, straight up.
Yeah, I think with Javale.
Evan,
Yeah.
what? It'd be something like this. Yeah, the Dallas when y'all got Spencer Dinwiddie, and
Right.
then it comes out later. Oh, the Dallas Mavericks are sending Josh Green, Jaden Hardy, the Tim Hardaway Jr.
Well,
two
Evan
second round
Fournier.
picks
Evan
That
Fournier and
that
2
was Donnie.
second picks.
for
That was
Evan
Donnie. We don't do that no more.
for Evan Fournier, and then y'all answer at center is going to be Jericho Sims.
Oh my.
Nah, man, we're gonna try to get Solomon Hill from the Hawks again. Again.
Man.
Oh god.
Again, Solomon Hill was a good player too, by the way. You know what I'm saying? I follow him on
Shout out-
Twitter.
shout out
We
to
need,
Solomon.
we
Solomon
need,
real
we
good,
need,
man.
we need Solo back. That's what we need.
Yeah,
toughness.
he a good dude.
I think we got a good vet in Wes
Wes
Matthews.
Matthews. Yeah.
Wes Matthews?
Go ahead,
He's still
Rel.
playing?
They'll
He
see.
ain't, he ain't no player. He's just
Hopefully,
a
he don't
vet.
take the ball out of Trey Young's hands. But go ahead, Rel.
Yeah, you're right. Uh, no, man, for us, man, like I said, we'll be back here on Tuesday, guys. We don't know we got playing yet. We'll just be back on Tuesday. Y'all know how we do it every Tuesday and every Saturday. Fridays for the members only of the channel. Of course, I got everybody's info, the channel's infos down in the description box. I don't know. Also, too, if y'all want the merch, man, y'all already know what to do, man. Go to the channel, go to the About tab, drop down to Glow Merch, and that's the link to our merch, guys. I know people been asking about the jerseys and stuff, man. We got to work on that. I know we got to kind of find a way to kind of work on that. Shout out to Demond, man, for giving us the info on the jerseys,
Yeah,
man.
shout out to Demond for that, bro.
Yeah, so we're gonna try to get that worked
The
worked
jersey
out for
thing was
everybody,
crazy.
man.
Yeah.
'Cause I had like I told King, I had about 3 or 4 people hit me up yesterday. They wanted a jersey. It's like, man, just give me time. We're gonna try to get all this worked out.
I just saw Melissa in the comments. So shout out to Melissa.
Shout out to Melissa, New York Knicks fan. But yeah, man, I think that's probably about it. So this is like the first official kind of collab thing we doing here, guys. So we'll try to get together again, guys, and do more collaborations like this for y'all, man. I know a lot of people been asking about it and all that stuff. I know our fans been asking about it.
Yeah,
So
man.
we're gonna definitely try to get together and do this again, man.
Yeah,
Anybody else got anything you want to add?
Hey, this is dope, bro. I ain't even gonna front.
Yeah.
It's been a long time,
Thank
bro.
you.
We've been working so hard for this moment, bro, right here.
Hey,
You know
I'm
what I'm saying?
trying to tear up, man. You know?
Yeah, man. Because I remember because when I first hit y'all up, it was like, yo, who the bio range? Who was bio range? You know what I'm saying? Like he all in our comments and stuff, all up in the videos and you know what I'm saying? And so it's to get to this moment right here where we can give fans of YouTube and NBA basketball and Hawks fans and Mavs fans and Knicks fans some real content that's not watered down by NBA insiders. You get, the real fans' perspective on a lot of different things, and it's usually different from what you hear from the people that are polished and do this thing for a living. So yeah, man. So we finally got to this point, man, and I appreciate this moment right here.
Yeah, hit that like button, gang. Remember,
Smash it.
support your local content creators. We real fans over here.
Yeah, man.
We ain't backed by the machine or nothing like that. So, we can say what we want to say. So we can keep it real with y'all. And like some of them other teams outlets. You feel me?
Right.
I always end it with share, more share, guys, because of the viewers, all of you guys, that we do this and we grow as much as we can. These shows, these crossovers, because of you guys, the whole comment section was popping off the whole time. I was trying to pay attention to it. So thank y'all so much. We're gonna keep doing this. We're gonna keep grinding. I know all of us have jobs and things like that we have to do as well. We still do this for y'all. We appreciate y'all.
Jobs, bro. We got 2 jobs, bro.
It really is. Yeah, man. With all that being said, guys, it's the first episode of the crossover, man. We'll be back for some more, man. Hopefully pretty soon, guys.
Salute.
All right, y'all.
Peace.